Oh, yeah, we're playing Shake, 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 Shake Your Booty by Casey and the Sunshine Band on here.
Well, it's a good song to go to.
I expect you to do that for us. I think, he says, I think. Right on. Oh, yeah. It's Friday Night Lights on Red Rock 92 and StreamUtah.Live. The San Juan Broncos have dominated their opponents on their home turf in the past 2 weeks, improving to 7-2 on the season. Tonight, they'll close out the regular season on the road in a game that'll decide the 2A South Region champion and the top team in the 2A classification. Live from Monroe, it's the Broncos taking on the undefeated and number 1 ranked South Sevier Rams. Welcome to Friday Night Lights on Red Rock 92 and StreamUtah.Live. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome indeed to South Sevier High School in Monroe, or Monroe, depending on how you prefer and how local you are. We do welcome you in. This is going to be a really fun one tonight that will decide the 2A South region and the number 1 seed in the 2A. And it's Rhett Sifford and Art Adair welcoming you in tonight. And Art, this is not a game that has been super important in the past few years, and it's been blowouts for the past few years, but this shapes up to be a kind of fun one here tonight with an undefeated South Sevier team.
Yeah, you always like to go into the end of the season in a game that means something for you, and both teams really want this win. It's been years before South Sevier has been this dominant, I guess, within their schedule,
right?
And then had this much hype around their program. And as according to the different broadcast teams that are here and the people that are here, it's shaping up to be probably one of their biggest games of the last 4 or 5 years at least.
Yeah, we'll see how if they get red light fever here tonight on their home turf. I know both teams are ready to go right now pregame, and there's an exciting atmosphere down there. There's a lot of energy. There are 3 broadcast teams here tonight, so everybody has an opportunity to see and hear this thing tonight if they want to. And I know for the folks back home in Blanding, the faithful fans back there, we're probably their choice, so we do welcome you in and glad that you've joined us tonight. You know, this is a series that San Juan has dominated going back to 1975. The Broncos lead 34-4, so it's been mostly San Juan. South Sevier's only win in this series since 1980 was back in 2013, and last year's final was 71-7. So, Art, these are things that South Sevier knows. They remember that 71-7 loss last year, and they've shown up ready here tonight.
Yeah, nothing gives a team more hype than that hope and that determination. You know, they think they can get this win. They come in riding a 9-0 record. The first time since you're going to have that stat from our friend George Felt, but they come in riding a 9-0 record. They think that they're going to get this win on the Broncos. They're going to end up the number 1 seed, the region champs. And it's going to be a dogfight, I think, the first couple of quarters to establish who's in it and who's out of it.
Absolutely, yeah. For South Sevier, it's their best start ever. They are aiming for their first ever undefeated season, regular season that is, in 71 years of football. So it's a big deal for them tonight. They've already set a school record with their 9 straight wins. Their previous best record was in 2009 with 8 straight wins. And they've also tied the school record for wins in a season with the 1972 and 2009 teams. So I remember when the Broncos had a big winning streak going and they were setting school records and making marks each year. And so that's what's going on for South Sevier right now. Like we said, this will determine the outright region champion here tonight, even though, Art, you know, the weight is kind of off that these days with the RPI standings, and so region champions don't mean as much, but really it does when you want to say that you were the region champion, the best team out of the group of teams that you play in.
Well, and it doesn't mean as much as far as the RPI goes, because you're going to get seeded off your strength of schedule, your win-loss percentage, and those things. But they still give a trophy out in most of these regions. They've decided that's an important thing. And so for these kids, being a region champ is just as big as anything else, regardless of how the RPI shapes up or whatever. It's huge for these kids. And to have the region championship come down to the last game of the season, I think that rarely happens. I think sometimes you come down and you're like, well, if this team wins over here and this team wins over here, you could end with a tie or a shared, a three-way. They've had those before. But very rarely does it happen that the last game of the season on both your schedules is a matchup between the two teams vying for that. And just to go, I've got to give my buddy Rhett here some credit. Last week, we too deep into this. I owe him lunch. I will admit when I'm wrong, and I called that a run. It was a short little shovel pass after watching a replay. I blame StreamUtah.Live because they didn't show a replay after it, so I had to go home and watch it. And then I've done a very scientific study over here today asking these people in South Sevier, is it Monroe or Monroe? And I'm going to tell you, Rhett.
Yes.
They're just as divided as us.
Okay, well, I will say it's divided with the Mid-Utah crew over there. Robert Lovell says it's Monroe, and Curtis Marsh says that it's Monroe, the way I pronounce it. So and I come from outside of Utah, of course, so I've got a completely different way of talking than the natives around here, so that's how it goes. But, yeah, I guess it's whatever you prefer, ultimately, it sounds like.
Yeah, regardless of how you say it, it's whoever scores the most points tonight is going to come out of Monroe, or Monroe the champion of the region.
And you talk about scoring points between these two teams. Something else from George Felt, just kind of pointing out San Juan, as far as the state goes, has the second highest points per game this year. West is leading the 2025 average this year with almost 55 points a game. They're at 54.6. The Broncos at 50.7, so almost 51 points a game. It's where we've seen San Juan for these past few years, but don't count out South Sevier. They're averaging 48.5 just about per game. So not only, they've won this year, they've won 9 straight, but not only that, most of their wins have been blowouts this year. So it's a very similar situation for these two teams coming in, and this should be a fun head-to-head matchup tonight.
Yeah, and I'm not going to say that, anytime you can go 9-0 in high school football, you're doing something right. And all the credit in the world to South Sevier. But if you break down the schedules, head-to-head schedules, South Sevier hasn't played a winning opponent. Everybody they've played and beaten has a losing record at this point in the season. So, and then if you look at San Juan's on the flip side, everyone they've played outside of the Delta, Grand County, Emory, the 3 that they crossed over with South Sevier,
right,
they all have winning records. And so strength of schedule does come into play. But on Friday nights, when you're 9-0 versus the perennial powerhouse San Juan Broncos, it doesn't matter who you played the last 9 weeks. You want to come out here and give your best effort. And I think you're going to see a South Sevier team that has a renewed energy tonight. And San Juan's going to have to match that and contain it and then just run past it.
Yep. Absolutely. You take it game by game each season, so it's a whole new deal tonight as these two teams come together. Bryce Twitchell, the head coach for South Sevier, is in his 3rd year. Art, he was 6-15 in his first 2 years, but with the 9-0 record now, even 500 at 15-15 for him. We chatted with him just a little bit ago before the game tonight, obviously. Here's what he has to say as his team gets set to try to upset the 4-time defending state champion San Juan Broncos.
Coach, good to see you again.
Yeah.
So the powers that be in the state of Utah football did not predict you guys to be 9-0 at this stage of the game.
Yeah. We kind of expected that coming into this season with the seasons we've had prior, but we also knew we had a lot of talent coming into this season, and so we were ready to go, make some noise. So,
what's been the breakthrough this year for you guys?
Really, we just got a great group of juniors and seniors, and together they've put together a heck of a season. They've worked really hard. They've been in the weight room, and they've just executed the way they're supposed to. So.
I mean, the weight room is key, and that's stuff that's hard to do, that everybody hates to do. That's what makes you a winner ultimately. Has that been a culture in the past here, or is that something that's kind of a revelation here?
It's something that we've been working on as a football program for quite a while, probably like the last 5 to 7 years. We've, been pushing it, and the kids have finally just bought in and been in there all summer and put in the work. So,
what are your main strengths this year?
Leadership. We've got a lot of leaders on the team. Athletic ability. We've got a ton of speed, and like I said, we've gotten a lot stronger. So,
I know you guys have been looking forward to this all year. Obviously, you've taken care of it game by game this year, but You've been looking at this one for a long time. What do you want your guys to do here tonight?
Just the biggest thing is execute. San Juan's a heck of a team. Obviously, they've been on top for a long time, and so we just have to come out and play our best game. And that's been my message to our guys all season: is we've got to get better every week. And I felt like we did that this week, and so we're ready to go just play.
You believe tonight that you got a chance to dethrone these guys?
Absolutely, of course we do. And I think, again, we're going to have to play our best game, but I think we have the talent, and I think our guys are ready to play.
All right, Coach, man, this is fun. Football approaching, in mid-October. This is awesome, man. Appreciate it. Have fun out there.
Yeah, thank you.
And we do want to say thanks to Coach Bryce Twitchell for chatting with us before this game here tonight and just kind of taking a look at his team stats-wise. Bridger Bradshaw, the senior quarterback, has 1,739 yards passing. He has 30 touchdowns on the season and only 4 interceptions. Those 30 touchdowns are 5th in the state coming into this game here tonight. He's completing about 57% of his passes, 94 of 166 on the year. He's averaging just under 200 yards passing on the season, per game, So he's a kid who can get it done here tonight for these South Sevier Rams. His main target this year has been Cooper Castle. The junior has 36 catches for 685 yards and 15 TDs. So that's a kid who's a little bit similar to Trip Palmer for San Juan. Race Freeman is the second leading receiver, 321 yards, so it kind of drops off pretty severely there. He has 15 catches. 9 of those have been for touchdowns this year. Ty Nielsen, also a junior, so all 4 of the first 4 receivers for South Sevier are juniors. 234 yards for Nielsen. He's got 2 TDs on the year, and we'll just stop at the top 4. Mason Healy has 13 catches, 222 yards, and a TD. So, Art, they're going to spread it around with the QB tonight, and we'll get to the ball carriers here in just a little bit, but this is a team that likes to kind of half and half pass and run.
Yeah, Bridger Bradshaw is a heck of a talent. He's a good quarterback. He's in a system that complements his ability. And anytime you can do that for your quarterback, you're just already miles ahead. But he's a great quarterback, throws the ball nice, sets his feet, gets into his read progression. He's just a heck of an athlete, and that's going to be one of the biggest keys is, can San Juan make him have happy feet? Can they make him rush to throw? Because if they can't, he's going to pick them apart in the secondary because he's an accurate quarterback, Rhett. He's a heck of a talent.
I would say, the Bronco defense has gotten away this year with a few secondary errors in the secondary just because of their pass rushing, and so that's something that we'll see how that pans out here tonight. But like you said, Art, they're going to need to get to the quarterback tonight to cause him to have some troubles. As far as the guys who carry the ball for him, Hudson Flinders, the senior, is leading the way with 80 carries, 662 yards, 6 TDs. Mason Healy actually has 11 TDs on the year. But a little bit less yardage as far as the rushing game goes. And, of course, I mentioned Healy's name in the receivers as well, so he'll catch some passes out of the backfield. Flinders will as well, but he's a little bit down the list. But Mason Healy, the junior, 93 carries on the year, 623 yards, and, like I said, 11 TDs. Cooper Castle, the third leading rusher, 21 carries, 339 yards with 4 TDs. And then the quarterback weighs in the 4th spot with 53 carries, 251 yards, and 3 TDs on the year. So a number of guys can carry the ball. A number of the guys can catch the ball. And that's how you know you got 2 teams coming against each other tonight who are going to be fun to watch. Art, very similar to San Juan with the depth and the amount of guys who are contributing offensively.
Yeah, and they run a similar style offense. Everybody's outside of a few teams run a little spread. But they will they'll run it, they'll pass it. They've got some good backs, and they've got some big linemen. And even their linemen that aren't that big, they can get out and block. I've watched some film on these guys, and against some of the same opponents and against some other teams, I was able to watch the Rich game that they won a couple weeks ago, last week, and, they just get out and they move well. The thing is the biggest thing, and I said this earlier and you've said it, is this is a team that believes. This is a coaching staff that believes. This is a fan base that believes that this year is their year to topple the giant on top of the hill.
Well, we'll see how it pans out. Obviously, that's why we play these games, and that's what makes it fun. All right, this is a team that's doing really well in the takeaways, turnovers ball game. They've got 19 takeaways this year and only 7 turnovers on the season, the 4 interceptions and 3 fumbles. So if that's correct from Max Preps, that's a pretty impressive lead that they have in that department as far as the defense goes. And when you look at the tacklers, Hudson Flinders leads the way with 74, Race Freeman 66, Mason Healy 65, Kyson Jensen 51, and Cooper Castle has 48. They don't have a whole lot of sacks this year. Mason Healy and Race Freeman, those two juniors, have 5 each. Trapper Farnsworth and Kyson Jensen have 3 apiece in the sacks department. So we'll see how it goes. Obviously, it's going to come down to whoever plays the best game tonight. That's kind of an understatement, I guess. Whoever scores the most points, like you said.
In the words of John Madden, the late great John Madden, whoever scores the most is going to come out here with a win tonight.
That's right. I love it when you give us John Madden every week. That's becoming a tradition. So, all right, we're going to step aside on the pregame show here. We'll return to South Sevier in Monroe, and we'll talk about the visiting San Juan Broncos when we return. Stay with us. It is Friday Night Lights on Red Rock 92 and StreamUtah.Live.
Ready to own a home in Utah or Colorado? The Britt Barton team at Primary Residential Mortgage, with over 30 years experience, crafts personalized loans with top rates and expert support. Buying, refinancing, or building your dream home? We've got you covered. Sit with Britt and begin your home ownership adventure. Visit our local pros for all your mortgage lending needs. Primary Residential Mortgage Incorporated is an equal housing lender, MLS number 3094.
Pain or injury sidelining you? Precision Rehab restores you and your loved ones back to peak performance with physical therapy in Monticello, Blanding, Montezuma Creek, and Monument Valley. Covered by most insurances. Call 43567-83869 or visit precisionrehabutah.com.
Planning a weekend project? Red's Ace Hardware in Blanding has paint, tools, grills, and yard supplies from top brands like Craftsman and Weber. Visit us for great deals and expert advice.
Here at Lisle Northern Electric, we take pride in our highly qualified team, dedicated to serving our community. Whether you need commercial, residential, or solar electrical services, our certified experts are ready to meet your needs. We are proud to support our community, especially our youth and high school athletics. Lisle Northern Electric, serving our community since 1957.
With over half a century of combined experience, Countywide Realty has guided more deals than any other local team. From farms and ranches to homes and land, no one knows San Juan County like Countywide Realty.
Welcome back live to South Sevier High School in Monroe, Utah, just a little bit west of Richfield. As Rhett Sifford and Art Adair welcome you back to this spot tonight, which is the site for our Friday Night Lights matchup and the 2A South Region Championship here tonight. And Art, this is really kind of in our neighborhood. Whenever we get close to Richfield, we're pretty much back home. So this is kind of a local trip for us here tonight.
Yeah, and it's been good to the Broncos in the past. So hopefully tonight we see the same result out of this squad.
Well, we're going to switch gears now in the pregame show and indeed talk about the San Juan Broncos. And as we come in, we did chat with Bronco head coach Barkley Christensen just a few minutes ago, and here's what he has to say previewing this one here tonight.
Coach, this is fun. Final game of the regular season. I don't know if anybody expected it to be a 9-0 South Sevier team here today, so this is going to be fun. You guys, I mean, you're not the underdogs, of course, but you get a chance to, quote, upset someone here today.
Yeah, sets up nicely. You know, makes it fun, makes it excited. You know, we haven't had a lot of 2A games as of recent where everybody's really hyped up, so I'm glad everybody can get excited about one of them.
Yeah, you can tell there's some energy here tonight, of course. I mean, this team has obviously been looking for you guys for a while. This will be the region championship tonight. This will decide the number 1 seed, so this is a good game.
Yep, absolutely, and you know, it makes sets up fun, right? So our kids are fired up. They're excited. They're ready to roll.
Yeah, I can tell there's something different coming out. You know, you guys have had, I think, probably some tougher opponents this year. You've battled throughout the year, but they come out tonight with some gusto, it seems like.
Yeah, I mean, I think they've read everything, right? They read the articles, they see what's being posted online, and you know, you talk about records, right? People say, you know, strength of schedule matters. Mm-hmm. People say that, but in all reality, everybody looks at freaking records. I mean, we could have scheduled whoever we wanted to and been 9-0 as well. You know, we should have been 9-0 with the schedule we had. We were right there and we battled, and you know, but at the end of the day, not very many professions. I told the kids in the locker room, not very many people can say they're the best at something, and you guys are lucky enough to where you get to prove it tonight. So,
What do you want to accomplish here on the field tonight?
man, I just want to come out on fire like we have against. We have a couple games. Last week we did. I want to come out on fire and let's just have fun playing football. Let's go get it.
We talked a little bit about it after the game last week. Do you think you're ready to peak here tonight?
I hope not. We're still not ready, but I think we've got better. I'd love to play a great game, perfect game, right? But I still think there's obviously always going to be room for somewhere to get better.
Are you trying anything different out tonight, or is it what we've seen from you guys all year?
Nah, you'll see the same things. I mean, yeah, we don't have to change for anybody. So you're going to see the same defense, same offense, and just guys flying around making plays.
Coach, we appreciate it, man. Finish the season strong. Good luck tonight. Have fun, man.
Okay, appreciate it. Thanks, man.
And we do say thanks to Barkley Christensen for chatting with us, taking time out. There's a different excitement in the air tonight from both teams. And, I mean, you can even sense it from the San Juan Broncos. Definitely ready to come in here and prove who they are tonight. And South Sevier, of course, looking to prove who they are and upset what has been the biggest team in 2A football. And really, when you look at it, this is a team that's not only been making noise in the 2A for the past few years, Art, but have been making noise all over the state, regardless of classification.
Yeah, this team has been on top of the 2A and competed with some very good 3A schools. Played, we went to Hurricane a couple years ago. Fantastic game there. Never afraid to shy away from getting better and playing hard teams. And you see that in the commitment to excellence, basically, and how they've accomplished 4 state titles in a row. And it's not just because there's something in the water in Blanding, although there probably is. It's called weightlifting and commitment. But it's the fact that they're willing to go and get better and put their record on the line. They're willing to go up and say, hey, we may lose because you're bigger, you might be better, you might have a higher classification, but we're going to go there and smack you in the mouth and give you a good football game because we believe in ourselves. And just like we talked about with South Sevier believing this year in themselves, this is a squad that has believed in themselves for the last 4 or 5 years, ever since Coach Christian signed on, how many years that was, but definitely the last 4 years with 4 state title runs and 2 undefeated seasons there. This is a team that, was it 3 undefeated seasons?
It's 3.5, ultimately, 37 games.
This is a squad that no matter if you're a senior or you're a freshman, you believe that when you put on that gold helmet with the Bronco on it, that you're a stud and you're going to go out there and dominate. And so it's just one of those things that, man, it's 2 programs that have a lot of pride, one that's been on top and we're not going to lose it, and one that's upcoming, and we want to show you that how much better we've gotten, and it's going to be a dogfight.
Yeah.
Sorry, Red, I'll tell you, just looking through the crowd over here, not only we've got 3 broadcast teams here, we've got a lot of fans. I mean, both stands are almost full. You've got college scouts here, one from Utah Tech, one from Oklahoma State, the Pokies, they're over there, both recruiting San Juan kids. And so this is there's a lot of, and hopefully there's not so much hype that sometimes kids get so wound up that they can't relax in the moment and go out and perform. So it's going to be a battle. This first quarter is going to definitely set the tone, and that kind of sounds, stupid, but it will. I think the coach is right. If they come out and they can smack them in the mouth quick and early, and they can do what they've done the last couple weeks and put huge points on the board, defensive stops, turnovers, and just run the score, it might be a long night.
You got the color guard coming out now, which appears to be, I think this is probably the
drill team.
South Sevier drill team, the entire drill team bringing the colors out.
They're pretty excellent in their drill program here.
And I think they've got a band that's going to do the national anthem here tonight, so we'll try to set the mics up and see if we can let you hear this here tonight as they perform the national anthem here on the South Sevier sideline.
Presenting the national anthem this evening, the South Sevier Clap Band under the direction of Mr. Chris Livingston.
And a very nice rendition of the Star Spangled Banner tonight from the South Sevier Pep Band. I love the sound of a marching bass drum. Art, as a drummer, it's tough for me to get over. That's a good sounding bass drum they got out there. We will continue the pregame show now, although we may run out of time here. Just a few minutes left here before the opening kickoff now with the national anthem done. But we want to take a look at these San Juan Broncos stats-wise. And, of course, Bo Yeomans, a sophomore quarterback, has come into his own as the season has gone along, up to nearly 2,300 passing yards on the season now. He's just 2 yards shy of 2,300. He's a 151 for 236 on the year, completing 64% of his passes. His 2,298 passing yards is 11th in the state coming into this game. He's got 23 TDs on the season. He has thrown 12 interceptions. His main target, we've already mentioned him already here in the pregame show, the senior Trip Palmer has 46 receptions and 937 yards. He's averaging just over 100 yards per game in the receiving department with 10 TDs. Jagger Neves out of the backfield has caught 508 yards on 36 catches and 4 TDs. Brig Palmer has been coming on as the season has gone along. 29 catches for him now, 404 yards and 3 TDs. And, of course, there's other guys who get it done as well. But those are the main targets for Bo Yeomans so far coming in this game. And, Art, it's kind of weird because, you know, these past couple games, you've had the starters with just limited time, you know, and they've only had at least, you know, just ultimately one legitimate quarter to play in. And then they've pretty much been starting to sit on the bench a little bit. So some of these stats are pretty impressive when you take a look at that.
Yeah, it happens every year, it seems, with this San Juan teams, is you get a lot of top of the 2A, even in the state stats, but you just think, man, if they played all 4 quarters, but then again, I don't think the scoreboard goes over 99 points in some of those games, so it would
Right.
be hard to keep track.
Right.
But yeah, and you feel for those kids because you know, but at the same time, you know, real recognizes real. You get these college coaches, you get these people, the people that are voting for All-State and that kind of stuff, they know. It don't matter your stats at the end of the day. They know who came to play and who's the studs out there. And I tell you, Rhett, as we wait for the game ball to be delivered by the helicopter here, number 0 staring us in the face over there, George McNaughton. And, dude, I'm telling you, I had dreams about him last night.
You don't hear that from the broadcast crew very often.
I think that George, man, if he can come off his in position when he's there in the 4 and he's up in the 2, and if he can just terrorize Bradshaw, it's going to make South Sevier's life miserable.
Yeah.
I look for George. I look at him pace over there. He's excited. I think he's going to come out here and have a heck of a game.
Yeah. As you can see, the helicopter coming in, or you could a little bit. It got a little out of focus there, but helicopter coming in to deliver the game ball. Looks like he's going to do a pass and then come back around. But I did not mention here just now listing the receiver stats, but Trip Palmer's 937 yards is currently 9th in the state. His 80 points on the season is 10th in the state. But, man, we are going to move now to the rushing game as the helicopter now does make its approach to the field. You'll be able to watch that on Stream Utah while I'll continue with this here. But got a lot to say about Jagger Neves, who, of course, has been unreal all year for San Juan. This is going to be good. I think they're actually going to land it on the field here. Instead of just dropping the ball out, he's going to actually land it right here at midfield. So good show. You can hear that now. The rotor's cutting the wind down there. But Jagger Neves on the year, 161 carries, his 1,582 yards rushing is tied for first in the state right now. It's tied for 22nd in the nation. He's averaging 176 yards rushing on the season, and he's got 28 rushing touchdowns this year. When you look at some season numbers, his 210 points scored this year is first in the state and 5th in the nation right now. His 33 total TDs is first in the state and 3rd in the nation. And in both of those categories, he's just outside the Utah top 10 all time. So those are some dents he might make this year. If he continues on the pace that he has, he may end up in the Utah all-time top 10 in those 2 categories this year.
Who's number 3 in one of those categories, Rhett?
Zach Conway, I believe.
Zach Conway, the former San Juan Bronco running back.
We've got a couple former Broncos who are in those top categories, but career marks now for Jagger Neves, and it just bears mentioning here in this final game of the regular season. His 71 total career touchdowns is tied for fourth in the state with Zach Conway. And the third place is at 72, second 77, and the first place man is at 100. So those are reachable marks, specifically the third and second place positions for Jagger Neves. That's something we might start seeing tonight, obviously. His 444 total points in his career is fourth in Utah all time, and actually possibly third. Talking with George Felt this past week, I think there might be an error in the man who's listed at third place right now, listed at 462. George Felt believes that's 362. So according to George Felt, he told me to say that Jagger is in third all-time in the state of Utah, 444 points scored in his career. So just a lot to talk about when you talk about this Jagger Neves kid. I know in the preseason interview, the media days they had with Mid-Utah Radio, he talked about wanting to break his cousin's rushing yardage mark, and so he's right there, you know, and he's just had an outstanding year for San Juan. And when you get these kids who step into leadership roles like Jagger Neves, and not only mentally, psychologically, but on the field as well, leading by example for your team, that's huge for your team.
Well, and I think he's just pumped to be here every night. He is a kid that's just very mellow and low-key. I talk to him all the time outside of football and just smiles, low-key. You wouldn't think that he was the star athlete of a football team. That's just the kind of demeanor he has, and you got to love him. But when he gets on the football field, he comes alive. That kid in between the sticks, holy cow. I would not want to be a defender going up against him, and he's down there pumped up at the coin toss.
Yeah.
And San Juan's going to receive it, and I guarantee
he's
you
ready
he's
to
telling
go.
Coach, hey, we ain't running no fake from me. I'm taking this ball to the house.
You can just see the added energy tonight, not only for the home team expecting the upset tonight, but for the visiting team ready to shut them down. You can see the excitement on these players. They're ready to go. We're getting set for the opening kick. It'll be the San Juan Broncos to receive here in just a matter of moments. 12 minutes showing on the clock. We are just about set to go here tonight at South Sevier High School in Monroe, Utah. And we're brought to you tonight, Friday Night Lights on Red Rock 92 and StreamUtah.Live, in part by Flights Gymnastics, a proud supporter of local sports. A great start for your kids. Also tonight, Four Corners Regional Care Center, a skilled nursing and rehab facility in a caring setting. Jones and DeMille Engineering, from infrastructure to quality of life, engineering the future of rural communities. And Napa Motor Parts. Get everything you need in Blanding and Monticello. Thanks again to all these sponsors who make these broadcasts possible. As the teams line up, set to go, South Sevier is going to be kicking off to the west here. This is an east-west facing field, I believe. And it's sort of, I think it is east, exactly east and west. We're looking straight down the blocks of the city here. So they're going west to start it off, and San Juan's going to be going from west to east. I asked the guys pregame if this is a color rush uniform for South Sevier, but no. This fully red uniform is their traditional home uni. San Juan is wearing the road whites with the blue numbers and the gold helmets. And we are set to go. The Broncos set to receive. It's Jagger Neves, and I'm not sure if that's Brig Palmer back with him near the 10.
Nope, it's Mr. Keith, Mike and Keith.
Thank you. And the kick is going to come down. Not sure why he kicked it right to Jagger, but he did. Neves will fake it. Now he's going to try to get to the outside, gets a block. And he does get to the outside, but is not able to make it back to the 20 as they'll knock him down of bounds at the 15. So the Broncos will start fairly deep in their own territory here on their first possession.
Good coverage there by South Sevier. Way to work down the field, get through the wall, and then push Jagger out of bounds. Not let him get a head of steam coming up the field.
So we'll see the San Juan offense first thing tonight as they begin right at their own 15-yard line. And Bo Yeomans, no surprise, working from the shotgun. He's got four wide receivers. He's going to hand off to Jagger Neves on first down. Neves, who is clearly ready to go, is going to bust it all the way out near the 35 for a 20-yard gain on his first touch of the night.
Great run, great blocking. Everyone was engaged and held their blocks, giving Jagger the space he needed to get out there and run. And San Juan going fast here, so we'll see how South Sevier reacts to the no huddle.
And Neves will get another handoff. He's going to bust to the outside on the left side this time. Flags fly as he continues with second effort. He's going to get 7 yards, but I'm not sure if it's going to stand.
It's going to be a hold on the wide receiver out here, and that's just a hard position to put the receiver in. He's thinking Jagger's going one way and Jagger cuts the next, and it's just he's in a bad position. If Jagger cuts off inside, they don't get that call. And the one thing I do also hope, and this is the only time I'll say it, Rhett, is I hope the refs stay out of the game.
Yeah.
With it as important, I'm serious. As important as game as it is, I've seen these type of games where the refs want to get involved. I hope they don't.
Well, the holding does knock San Juan back. They're going to have to battle for it here. Bo Yeomans throws complete to the right side, but it's going to be for no gain as they tackle Trip Palmer behind the line of scrimmage. I think that's going to be a loss of a couple. And so it is a completion, but to the tune of -2. And so that'll bring up a third. I thought it was third down at second down, and now right up the middle.
Yeah, Yeomans went for the option and decided to take it up the middle, and that big nose tackle, he just reached out with one paw and grabbed him and stopped him in his tracks.
So the Broncos face a third down now. This penalty has hurt him a little bit. Yeomans will drop back. He'll throw it to the left side, airs one out, and Cole Duke is there and nearly made a circus catch. He did. Unbelievable. That ball must have been perfectly threaded as it goes right over the head of the defender, and what a play to Cole Duke.
It was a great pass. You can watch it on the replay right in the breadbasket, and he comes right down with it. Perfect. The official's in the perfect angle to make that call.
I think that's a 34-yard pass. I'll have to get that in a second as Jagger Neves gets another carry. He's going to bust to the outside on the right side. He'll go right to the sticks. That's going to be an 11-yard run, and that will move the chains.
I think they're going to spot this a yard short, Rhett.
Huh.
Yep, it's going to be 2nd and 1.
Wow, okay. Well, we'll take it. As let's see, I got to get this catch for Cole Duke in there. That was just an impressive 34-yard play.
Now you see the halfback pass.
And it's going to be a touchdown for San Juan. So was that Jagger throwing that football?
And we're going to get a flag here. And that's the kind of stuff you cannot have. And this type of moment, this type of game, you got to keep your composure. You can't stare down the defender. You can't do anything that's going to hurt your team here. And obviously it's after the play, so it'll be probably on the kickoff. But Jagger throws it complete down there to Trip Palmer, and he actually goes over the top of the defender. Had great position here, Rhett. Just a great grab by Trip Palmer.
That's a 36-yard touchdown pass. I'm going to have to unhide a row here for Jagger Neves. He did throw a pass earlier in the season, but has not since that first game of the year. But this is a 36-yard touchdown pass. Now we're going to see the 2-point try as Yeomans throws into the end zone, little behind the receiver, but a good job adjusting, and that is going to be successful. I believe Trip Palmer making the catch behind him indeed, and that will be 2 points for San Juan, who now lead 8-0, not quite 2 minutes in here tonight.
Yeah, and a good just keeping going with your offense. You get down, but the holding call, you try to run a quarterback on the option draw. He gets stopped. You're facing a 3rd and long. You make a heck of a pass and a heck of a catch out here to Mr. Cole Duke. And then what a play. You know nothing's off the table tonight for Coach Christensen. This is a huge game for these Broncos. They want that region title. They want to. There's been, I don't know, Rhett, if you follow a lot of football pundits throughout the state of Utah high school. I do. And there's been a lot of talk about this being the game of the week. And is South Sevier the new number 1? And I guarantee you that locker room at San Juan heard that all week.
Yeah, that's one thing that Coach Christensen mentioned in the pregame interview. And so they have definitely shown up ready to quiet those pundits down, if you will. I don't get a chance to listen to them as much as you are, but that's why you're my color guy. You add that color, man. You make us wiser during the broadcast. So
well, let's see. This first offensive series out of South Sevier is going to tell us a lot.
That's a fact.
Short kick.
The Broncos successful on their first. South Sevier is going to fall on it, I think, wisely. The man who did was a little frustrated with himself that he may have been able to advance that, but I think it was a wise play by Mason Healy there, and that'll bring the South Sevier offense out onto the field for a first time. Obviously a long game, Art, but a nice open for San Juan, and now we'll see how the Rams will open.
Yeah, a nice open, especially like we said, after some adversity on a holding call. And now we're going to see, I mean, that kick was held up in the air, suspended for a long time.
Yeah.
So I actually think that was a great thing by the South Sevier football player to just jump on that and get his offense out there. They got great field position.
So here is the South Sevier offense, and they keep it on the ground on first down. They'll get 6 yards. Speaking of Mason Healy, as his first carry of the night goes for 6.
Yeah, and he's brought down by Jagger Neves there. Good little run play there by the Rams. And the one thing, I'll go back to this, is I know this is a intense game and a matchup, but as San Juan, you got to make the tackle, you got to make the play, and then you got to turn and walk away.
That's right.
No extra stare downs.
And they may have given him closer to 7, but I'm going to still say it's 6 on second down. They'll hand off again, and it's Healy again. This time he busts to the outside, and down the sideline he goes. He's knocked down, but not before he picks up 5, 10, 15. We're going to get a late flag here. 5, 10, 15, 20. That's a 25-yard run where the flag lays. And so this is just what you just said, Art. This is an extracurricular penalty after the play. And you think there's just a little bit of rivalry between these two teams here tonight and the hype that's led up to this game.
Yeah, we'll see who the first flag was thrown. The second flag was definitely on San Juan's sideline staff over there. So we'll see what the first flag is.
So I think it may even be longer than a 25-yard run for Healy. Let's see. It is unsportsmanlike conduct on everybody. It's going to offset. That's a beauty. So you get a free unsportsmanlike conduct to start the game here for both teams. It looks like they're actually going to mark it a little bit shyer than I thought. We'll say it's a 24-yard run for Healy.
And these penalties can be huge if you're not careful, so you got to just calm yourself down, internalize it, and just play football.
Bridger Bradshaw will work from under center, and he will roll to his right and throw to the sideline. Little cutback pattern over here, and it's going to be pass interference called on Nash Young. They throw 2 flags over there. He didn't think he was guilty, but it looks like South Sevier is going to get a free first down here.
Well, I'm going to watch this replay before I have a comment, but it's like I said earlier, some officials in these type of games want to interject themselves into the game, and I think we might have a little of that right now. I'm sure that these guys are not far from home.
So with 9:32 to go, that's going to, in the first quarter, I should say, that's going to move the ball down to the San Juan 20 on a pass interference first down. South Sevier heading into the San Juan red zone for the first time tonight. And so far, they're showing the ability here to move the ball a little bit as well on this San Juan D. And here's Bradshaw handing off, and there's some good penetration by the San Juan D as George McNaughton and Trip Palmer team up to bring the ball carrier down behind the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, we need a lot of that tonight. We need George in the backfield constantly. We need Trip out there stringing it out so we can get a lot of pressure at the line of scrimmage and not let them get their running game like they have a couple of times going here.
That's a 1-yard loss for Hudson Flinders on his first carry of the night. We are now 3 minutes into this one here at South Sevier High School. Broncos lead at 8-0. As Bradshaw sends a man in motion. Play action in the backfield. Flag flies. Play allowed to continue. And Bradshaw loses his footing and goes down headlong behind the line of scrimmage once again. This will be another 1-yard loss, but we'll check the flag here.
Yeah, we're going to see what usually it's illegal shift, yep.
So I'm guessing, I guess San Juan's going to take the yardage right here, but they will repeat second down if they do. That'd be a 10-yard penalty, I guess,
I think
right?
they're going to decline it.
Yeah, I think that may only be a 5-yard penalty. Yep, they're going to decline it. The ball will stay where it is. It'll be a third down, another 1-yard loss, this time on the QB.
Sometimes you got to weigh that as a coach. You're over there thinking, okay, does the 5 yards negate the third down? Or if we stop them on this third down, are they going to kick a field goal? Do they go for it? And we only got 2 downs. We got to stop them on 3 downs. It's hit or miss. And honestly, they're behind the chains right now. So I like the call to decline it and bring up third.
Yeah, it's a big third down. It's 4-down territory for sure at the gate now to the San Juan red zone. They've lost a couple yards since they got there. Now Bradshaw is flushed out of the pocket, throws to the left side ahead of his intended man, incomplete. And so that will be 4th down and 12 as they got pressure to the quarterback that time.
Yeah, Max Stearns, the sophomore, he comes in there, gets good pressure, and then he's about 3 steps away, and when the quarterback throws, just gets his hands in the air instead of running him over. And good coverage downfield by Brig Palmer as well on that play.
And that is the first passing attempt officially for Bridger Bradshaw. He got a reprieve when his incomplete pass was called for pass interference a few moments ago. Bradshaw will drop back, throws over the middle this time into the end zone. Nobody there. And that will be a turnover on downs, except there is a flag, and we'll have to check that in the South Sevier backfield here.
We're going to get a personal foul, roughing the passer.
Wow, so that
bailed them out.
Instead of a turnover on downs, South Sevier is going to get a new set of downs. And these are the mistakes, Art, you said that you can't have. Maybe a little bit just hyped up here early in this game. And you may have to back off the QB that time. I'm not sure. I didn't see it. I was watching the ball downfield.
Usually as an official, you're going to give him a step, and it looked like he had just about a step there on that play. But obviously, I'll just go on with my life here and not say another word about it.
Well, that moves the ball down right near the 10. It's going to go to the 11. That's 2 first downs on this series by penalty. And 1st and 10, they can still get a first down at the 1. There's a handoff on a counter, and now busting it to the outside in near the end zone. He might be down at the 1. No, they're going to call it a touchdown. Is Cooper Castle, who goes in from 11 yards out, and that makes it an 8-6 game as South Sevier answers on their first possession. They got a couple of lengthy first downs by penalty, and they take advantage and punch it into the end zone.
Yeah, anytime you can get some first downs on penalty, it really benefits your offense when you can move the ball 20, 30 yards without even having to move the ball.
Right. So an 11-yard touchdown run for Cooper Castle. They're going to add the extra point. And I didn't see, was that a 2-point try or it was a kick? It was kicked right through, so that makes it 8-7. Those of you on StreamUtah.Live can see that counter on the replay. And just basically beating the San Juan defense to the outside. I'm really not sure he wasn't down on the 1 either when you take a look at the replay there. The knee may have come down, but they did call it a touchdown, so there were definitely some favorable conditions that time for South Sevier. They take advantage, and they pull back to within 1. It's 8-7, 8:09 to go in the opening quarter. We'll step aside real quick and return to South Sevier High School in Monroe. It is Friday Night Lights, and a good one so far tonight on Red Rock 92 and StreamUtah.Live.
Buying, selling, or refinancing. Trust Anderson Oliver Title Insurance Agency, Southeastern Utah's only locally owned title company, serving San Juan and Grand counties for over 25 years. Visit us today.
At Energy Fuels, creating opportunities and participating in the local community is important to us. Thanks to our dedicated employees, we're safely producing critical materials that support cleaner energy sources and a better planet for future generations. Knowing that the youth of today will make great contributions tomorrow, Energy Fuels is a proud supporter of high school athletics within our communities.
Welcome back live to South Sevier High School in Monroe, Utah. Friday Night Lights on Red Rock 92 and StreamUtah.Live as the South Sevier Rams kick the ball off to the San Juan Broncos, and now reverse as
Mike and
Keith will get the handoff this time from Jagger Neves, and that's been a rare play for the Broncos this year. But
I think they were banking on everybody keying on
Jagger.
Jagger.
Right, on Jagger, and so they kind of try to sneak one in there. Of course, Jagger threw the 36-yard touchdown pass in the Broncos' first possession. They lead 8-7 now after South Sevier was able to answer. And so that's just the third pass attempt this year from Jagger Neves and his first touchdown pass, as they'll fake to him this time, and Bo Yeomans throws complete for 8 yards up ahead to Cole Duke. So very quick work there, and Bo Yeomans is now 3 of 3.
Good patience by Bo to let that route develop and let Cole get inside leverage on the defensive back.
And the Broncos will go hurry up, of course, and Jagger Neves will take a handoff and bounces through the D, now to the outside, and has some room over there. Down the sideline, he's knocked out of bounds, but he gets across midfield into South Sevier territory. And that'll go for, let's see, 5, 10, 15, 20. That's about a 25-yard run for the senior.
Great downfield blocking again, and just able to get out of the way so you're not getting called for a penalty as they go back to Jagger up the left side here. We're going to get a holding call.
So that one's not going to count. That'll come back.
Yeah, if you're San Juan, you've got to do everything by the book. You can't let anything be a little suspicious because you're definitely going to get flagged for it tonight.
I've got Jagger for 57 yards rushing so far. And
so this will set San Juan back and be 1st and 20 now.
And I think I actually had the wrong thing. It's 41 yards rushing for Jagger, so my apologies there. He's had a couple rushes. And then let's see, San Juan with is it first down? I don't see the stick for some reason. It's long to go, though. I know that. And he's going to throw complete. Bo Yeomans, and now making men miss on the far side is Trip. That wasn't Trip Palmer. Yes, it was Trip Palmer. He's going to get really close to the line to gain, which would be a pickup of, let's see, 5, 10, 15. That's a 20-yard pickup, and the Broncos are going to move the chains. Wow. So a good recovery right there.
And I'm being told here, I'll come back to that. Bo Yeomans drops back. Long throw, double coverage.
Incomplete. Man, these guys are going hurry up, that's for sure.
Yeah, he went empty set that time, but I'm being told that we're about as north and south as it can get on this field, Rhett.
Oh, okay.
Just FYI.
Thank you. I guess I'm turned around.
So it'll bring up 2nd and 10 now. But, yeah, San Juan coming out empty set early right there as they're trying to go down the field and stretch this thing for Jagger.
So the incompletion makes it 2nd and 10. Here's a pitch to Jagger Neves now, and he'll get into a crowd of players, fights his way and continues to push South Sevier defenders all the way to the sticks here. He's going to be really close to moving the chains. It is a 10-yard gain and a first down for San Juan. An excellent run for the senior.
And your seniors, your starters, they're going to have to really be instrumental here to calm this thing down and just go out there and play football. And Jagger's going to be that leader they need tonight.
And he's going to hand off to Jagger Neves. Bo Yeomans will, and Neves will try to fight his way for yardage up the middle, but it won't be a whole lot as South Sevier clogs up the hole there. It looks like a couple for Jagger on that run.
Yeah, that was just a great play by the defensive line and the linebackers to come up and just shut down that A gap as San Juan pulls around that right side to try to get downfield blocks. No one's there to hit the guys in front of them.
Yeomans will drop back, has a little bit of time, throws to the end zone and overthrows the intended receiver. I don't know if he thought Duke was supposed to break to the back half of the end zone. Duke was up in the front of the end zone there, and it sailed over his head pretty far. So the incompletion makes it 3rd and 7. Back-to-back incompletions on Bo Yeomans after he was 4 of 4 to start the night. He doesn't have the passing touchdown tonight. That was Jagger Neves' 36-yarder. Speaking of Neves, he gets a handoff, goes off right tackle, and he will go for 10 yards and a first down for San Juan down at the 11 of South Sevier.
Yeah, great run. You can see that Jagger is just committed to just bowling over people. No, not one guy alone is going to bring him down tonight.
Yeomans will take the snap again as the Broncos go hurry up, but flags fly. It'll be a false start on the Broncos. So make it a 1st and 15. That's going to push the ball back to the 16-yard line. So the Broncos on the move here, looking for their 2nd touchdown of the night. I guess we got a replay of the false start there. I thought that was going to be the Jagger Neves run on that previous play, but clock is running down to 5:35 to go in the opening quarter. It's 8-7 Broncos, and Yeomans almost had it picked off right there. It was knocked away on the quick slant. That was a good read by the South Sevier defender and nearly went for the first turnover of the game.
Yeah, Bo's lucky there that the South Sevier kid just dropped that because he had that inside leverage, and anytime as a quarterback you see red in front of the opposing color, you got to go high on that throw.
2nd and 15. Yeomans throws complete this time, and it's caught over on the far side. Out of bounds at the 1 is Trip Palmer. I thought he might have stretched it inside the pylon. It'll be 1st and goal, though, on a 16-yard gain. So a big play right there.
Coming back quick here.
Yeomans. No, that was Jagger Neves, I think, taking the direct snap and runs it in off right guard. Did he get a handoff?
Yep, Yeomans handed it to him.
So Yeomans hands off. Neves goes in almost untouched. His 2nd touchdown responsible for here tonight, this time on the ground like he normally does it. So Jagger Neves makes it a 14-7 lead with 5:24 to go in the opening quarter on a 1-yard touchdown run.
And San Juan just doing San Juan things, and even when they get down or they get penalties, they just continue, like Coach said, nothing different, just run our offense. And Jagger's going to go in to complete the 2-point, and his helmet comes off. Or Or he took it off. I'm assuming it came off.
I don't see a flag, so
Yep.
if you take it off, I guess you would get a penalty, right? There's a replay of the touchdown. That was a 2-point try. And, yeah, he did take it off.
Yeah, he needs to
I don't know if it
cool down on that because you cannot take your helmet off on the field.
Yeah, I'm not sure if
They
that was
can't
because
afford to lose
a
him,
chin
Red.
strap got popped or what happened there, but maybe he just took it off. At any rate, 5:24 to go in the opening quarter, and that has quieted the crowd down here at South Sevier, which, by the way, this is a packed house here tonight on senior night at South Sevier High School in Monroe, and the Broncos have now stretched their lead to 16-7. And again, we're just over 7.5 minutes into this thing, and if this pace continues, this could be an offensive shootout here tonight. I don't know. But.
And this is where we talked about this in an earlier game where those 2-point conversions come in huge later down the game. And this is where those are going to play into a factor. If South Sevier keeps matching the score with San Juan, then those 2 points are going to just kind of stretch that out a little bit for the Broncos.
So we'll do the kickoff here. South Sevier has a chance to return this, and now going across, trying to reverse field, but a good open field tackle by the San Juan coverage. I'm not seeing who that's number 11 coming up out of the pack for the Broncos. Grady Lacey with that nice stop on the kick as he gets stretched across. Excuse me, no, it's number 14.
Mike and Keith, 84.
Oh, I thought it was 14. Sorry, I'm out in left field, man. You just can't trust me.
That kid's a division wrestler runner-up.
There you go.
State placer. So that's his wrestling coming in right there.
Well, I gave 3 different kids credit for that stop right there. So we're going to throw them all out there,
That's
man.
right. They were around. Their aura was giving confidence. It almost looked like Mike got a little stinger there on that.
Well,
I'm hoping he comes back. He's all right.
Well, guess what? Jagger Neves now is tied for 3rd in Utah all time with 72 touchdowns right there. So that moves him out of 4th and moves him ahead of Zach Conway. Now the quarterback gives himself up here.
Nice slip.
Okay.
Triple option right there, Rhett. He faked the dive to the fullback and then went around the left side faking that option. Actually, it was fake to the tailback, and then the wingback comes around with him, and then he just goes to cut it in and loses his footing.
So there you go. It looked to me like he even slid down, just sacrificing himself there. It is a loss of 2 on 1st down. So the pendulum swinging in the direction of the San Juan Broncos right now. They have the momentum. They have the 9-point lead, and the clock is running with 4:40 to go in the opening quarter here in Monroe.
The Rams have shown they can make a big play, though.
Here's Bradshaw dropping back. He has protection, throws complete. No, it's incomplete. Knocked out at the last moment by Brig Palmer on a good defensive play, and that makes it 3rd down and 12.
Yeah, great coverage there by Brig Palmer. He comes out and just whacks that ball with his forearm, comes down. You want a heavy hammer. Anytime as defensive back you're coming through the ball, you want to come hard through that thing and see if you can wiggle it loose, and that's exactly what he did. But we're seeing Bradshaw. He's able to throw the ball, so San Juan's got to be real careful defensive back-wise in their coverage.
Yeah, Bradshaw has started the night 0 of 2, and a nice defensive play again by San Juan as number 25 gets the mitts in there to knock that away, and that is Andrew Nielsen on the defensive stop. So make it a 4th and 12, and that is going to force a South Sevier punt.
And that's exactly the stop you needed after a back-and-forth scoring drives. You go down, put 6 on the board, 8 with your 2-point, and then you have to get the stop. You need to create some space against a team that has the high belief that they can go out there and play with anybody right now. You've got to create some cushion for yourself.
So it's going to be Jagger Neves back to receive at his own 40, and an opportunity at some real good field position here for the San Juan offense. That's a nice kick, and it will take a South Sevier bounce. Neves will just let it go. It's going to come to rest at the 30.
Okay, so I misspoke. Mike and Keith was Division Wrestling champ, and I'm being told that on one of the replays that number 3 for South Sevier on that scoring play with Jagger on the 2-point yanked his face mask, pulled his helmet, and so that's why Jagger came up a little hot.
Okay, there you go. Well,
thank you for all those people out there that keep us down the center line.
I have noticed that when you're broadcasting, it's harder to actually watch the video or replays and things like that. You got a lot going on, but when you sit at home and you watch, you're like, man, these guys are missing so much stuff.
Trying to keep stats, trying to get numbers down.
I do it too. When I'm at home watching college or the NFL, I'm like, dude, those guys aren't seeing anything. Jagger Neves with a manly run right here as he runs over the South Sevier defense for 11 yards and moves the chains right off the hop for San Juan.
Yeah, and if there's one or two kids you don't want to get riled up, Jagger Neves be one of them.
For sure. They got trips left, or actually two over here to the left, and Yeomans will throw to one of them. Completes on the quick slant to Trip Palmer. That'll go for a quick 8. And the Broncos start to move it here.
And if you're San Juan, you want to use your speed, your agility, and your conditioning to your advantage right now. You want to wear that defense down.
And Yeomans will hand to Jagger Neves, who has a lot of room on the far side. He uses the stiff arm, can't get out of the grasp of that defender, but he's still going to get about 6 yards, and that will move the chains again, this time into South Sevier territory. They're going to be down right around the 45. It'll be the 43.
Yeah, San Juan, keep going. You've got some Rams down there with their hands on their knees. They're gasping for air. You've just got to keep pushing the momentum here if you're the Broncos.
1st and 10 for San Juan, going downhill now into South Sevier territory. Yeomans throws quickly to the right side and completes the pass. And it'll go right to the line to gain, or right near it. Looks like it's going to be a 9-yard completion.
Mike and Keith.
And so Yeomans heating up again.
Yep, Miken's going to be a yard short.
That is his first catch of the night. And it's a big one. This keeps San Juan marching. They've got a 2nd down and 1. And Neves will take the handoff and gets that yardage and easily more. He'll go down inside the 30. That's going to be a pickup of 5, and the Broncos move the chains again.
And he just put his hand right on the back of Trey Bradford, and Trey Bradford led him through the hole. Exactly what you want your offensive lineman to do.
Where the San Juan offense is keeping the South Sevier crowd quiet over here as Trip Palmer makes a catch on that inside shuttle pass that the Broncos do so well, and that's going to go for 16 and a new set of downs for the Broncos.
And they're going so fast, they're making me take on and off my glasses, Rhett.
Yeah, it's rough.
I can make it.
I'm trying to keep up. I'm tapping numbers left and right. They're down into the red zone, and now South Sevier, I think, is going to call a timeout to stop the bleeding here. As the Broncos are marching, 2:29 to go in this opening quarter still. San Juan making a statement here. They've got a 16-7 lead and are knocking on the door here again to take a 2-touchdown lead in this game.
Perfect timeout by Coach Twitchell. He could see his defense was struggling. He could see San Juan was gaining the momentum. You need to get them over here. You need to talk to them. Give them some time to fill their lungs with oxygen and just relax. They're being pushed right now.
After this timeout, the Broncos are going to have it at the 14, it looks like.
And nothing intimidates you more, Rhett, from being on the sidelines than when you're in your timeout, you're over here talking to your kids, they're sucking water, they're taking deep breaths, and you look out on the field and the opposing team is already lined up, ready to go.
Yeah, they're waiting. San Juan is on the march. They look good out there. They're waiting on this South Sevier defense to return to the field. If there's any question that they've heard all the hype, man, that they've heard the words that have been said this week, this Broncos team came in here tonight without question, ready to shut all that talk down. They're up 16-7, looking to add to it here. 1st and 10 from the South Sevier 14. Yeomans will hand off to Jagger Neves. Off left guard, he goes into the end zone. Touchdown, San Juan. It's a 14-yard run, and Neves has 2 rushing touchdowns on the night.
What a play. What a blocking scheme right there by the offensive line coach. Just everything right there worked to perfection. You come out of a timeout, the opposing team calls it, and you go out there and you run your best smash them in the mouth play, and you go get a touchdown.
And the Broncos make it 22-7, 2:23 to go in this opening quarter. Yeomans throws to the corner of the end zone. I mean, he hit the pylon back there, but unable to get to the corner that time. I think was that Tripp that he was throwing to?
It was Cole Duke.
Cole Duke, I mean.
If it would have been Tripp, he would have hit him.
Yeah, I was going to say, Yeomans placed it perfectly on the corner of the end zone right there. It couldn't have been more corner. You can't see it on StreamUtah.Live because there's a field goal post in the way, but he hit the pylon with the ball, but it will remain 22-7. So the Broncos basically have an extra point kick and a 2-point conversion now after that failed 2-point and lead it by 15. And again, we're not quite 10 minutes into this thing, and the Broncos have wrestled some momentum away. and have really quieted down this home crowd here, Art.
Yeah, we talked about in the pregame. South Sevier is going to come out the first quarter, first couple of drives, and they're going to have a lot of moxie behind them. You know, they come in 9-0, best season ever. They want to take down Goliath here, and you saw that. You saw some tough defensive plays. You saw some stops on the run. You saw some penalties, and then you saw them go get 6 points in the end zone. And now San Juan, they just need to keep wearing them down. Defensively, you got to come out here and have a big stop here. Great open field tackle right there by Jace Razor to go down and he's the first guy down there, and he gets the tackle, stops him at the 25, 26-yard line.
South Sevier kick returner there didn't have a chance to do much, and so they will start just at their own 26, down by 15 points now, so 2 touchdowns plus an extra point. And for South Sevier right now, you got to find a way to wrestle the momentum back. San Juan is definitely establishing some serious momentum here.
Yeah, you got to have a good defensive. You got to get into Bradshaw quick here. Don't let him have time.
And Bradshaw will actually hand off as the Rams go back to the ground, but the Broncos with outstanding pursuit over there. Trip Palmer and Jagger Neves in the vicinity as they drag the ball carrier down at the line of scrimmage. That was Hudson Flinders, who has -1 yards rushing on the day now.
Rhett, you mentioned before it's got that playoff atmosphere.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen Jagger flying around and that excited and that dramatic and animated in a regular season game.
Yeah.
And he is just out there not to be stopped, not to be contained. He is both sides of the football. He's there to put the number 2 stamp on everything.
Bradshaw will work from under center here on 2nd down, and I mean, they must have given the ball carrier 1 yard. I gave him none. I guess I'll have to correct that. May have been given the benefit of the doubt right there. So 0 yards rushing for Flinders. Excuse me. We do get a flag here that'll signify a false start, and that'll mark it back 5. So make it 2nd down and 14 now for the Rams, who didn't help themselves out deep in their own territory here.
No, and San Juan, you've got to stretch the sidelines when they give it to their backs, and then at the same time, you got to have your eyes up watching that quarterback, because if he drops back to pass, you've got to immediately get off and get pressure on him as a defensive line to make him make an errant throw.
This time Bradshaw will work from the shotgun. Takes the snap, looks downfield, has pressure. They set up the screen, though. It is going to be complete, but it won't go for a huge amount of yards. Maybe 4. It looks like they're going to get that loss of yardage back. No, it's only going to be a 3-yard gain. I didn't see who caught that ball. It may have been number 3, it looks like. Yep. So that's the first completion of the night.
Good timing for a screen. You got San Juan. They're fired up. They're coming hard. But a good job by the linebackers back there, because everyone else was through there. Number 55. You got big number Remy Watcott. He's in there. He didn't bite on that at all, and he actually makes the tackle.
So it was a short gain. This will be a 3rd down and long, 3rd and 11. Clock is running. We're under a minute to go in the opening quarter as Bradshaw drops back, has a man, and completes. San Juan saying it was incomplete, but it is going to be signaled that it was a catch, and we'll move the chains. That's going to be a 12-yard pickup.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what the players say. It matters what that official says, and he thought it was a catch, so they're going to get a big 3rd down pickup right there.
That is a big conversion, and the player did come up off the turf with the ball. I didn't see who made the catch, unfortunately. I'm going to see if I can locate it on the far side of the replay here. Oh, it's still tough to see. I'm guessing it was number 3. I'll go ahead and give it to him. That's the man who's been the main target. A 12-yard pickup moves the chains, and now they'll go back to the ground on this one. As a big hit over on the far side will bring down Cooper Castle, but not before he picks up 3 yards.
South Sevier going to a little counter action, getting the defense flowing, and then coming back across the formation with that run.
That was that touchdown run, but this time it only goes, well, boy, they're really going to give him the benefit of the doubt, give him 4 there, I guess.
And we're going to end the quarter on that play right there.
So 12 minutes in the books. It's a 22-7 lead for the visiting San Juan Broncos here tonight in the 2A South Region Championship, and the game to decide the top seed in the 2A in the state of Utah. South Sevier comes in 9-0. They're ranked number 1. San Juan at 7-2 is ranked number 2. Right now, the number 2 squad is leading by 2 touchdowns plus a point. We'll step aside and return for the start of the second quarter. It's Friday Night Lights on Red Rock 92 and StreamUtah.Live.
Blue Mountain Foods, Monticello's hometown grocer, offers fresh meat, deli, bakery, and curbside pickup. Check BlueMountainFoods.com for weekly specials. Open 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. at 64 West Center Street.
Canyonlands Tire and Blanding offers top quality tires, auto repairs, and fast service. Stop by for all your tire needs. Your local tire experts at Canyonlands Tire.
At Red Mechanical, we believe strong communities start with strong support, and that includes cheering on our local high school athletes. We've proudly served the Four Corners with dependable HVAC and plumbing solutions, keeping homes and businesses comfortable season after season. From the field to your front door, we're here for you. Red Mechanical, proud supporters of high school sports and our local communities.
Welcome back to South Sevier High School in Monroe, Utah. Start of the second quarter here. It's a carry here for the Rams, and I'm trying to see who carried that. We need to take a look at a replay maybe. I'm not sure who had that carry.
I can tell you who made the tackle. Yeah. Max Stearns. It was their tailback that got the ball on that.
Number 2 probably. Cooper Castle will probably have to give it. We might get to see it here.
I want to see maybe 25.
Okay, yeah. Maybe help me out if you can. I still can't see it.
No, it was number 2.
Okay.
25 was there.
So Cooper Castle with a maybe 1 yard carry that time.
Third down.
And Bradshaw is going to roll out to his right and pitches late and pitches to Castle, who's going to get really close to the line to gain, but unless my eyes deceive me, he's going to be a yard shy, and that will make it a fourth down. I believe that was a third down play. They already have signified fourth, so yeah, just a 1 yard gain. So
nice option play there. And Bradshaw kept that ball even though he was a little bit under duress and just waited that option out. And good defense by San Juan to string it out as it looks like South Sevier is going to go for this one, Rhett.
Well, let me take a minute while I've got a minute. Just say hi to my family back in Eastland, Utah. Hi, Abby and the boys, Alan and James. Love you guys. I know you're going to bed, but love you and look forward to seeing you tomorrow. It's a fun game here tonight as South Sevier takes the snap on fourth down. Bradshaw throws over the middle, and the pass is right to the man he was trying to get it to, but it's dropped. And that incompletion will give the ball back to San Juan at midfield.
Yeah, number 2, is that Castle?
Cooper Castle, yeah.
It was on the numbers, and I've said this before, the worst place to hit a receiver, right in the numbers or right in the hands.
Yeah, that's right.
If you make them go after it and hunt that ball, they'll get it. But unfortunately for South Sevier, he drops that pass, and it was a great pass right to him. And now San Juan has a chance to add to their lead.
So it comes down to a mistake this time, and the error, though it's not an actual turnover, gives it to San Juan, and the Broncos are going to make quick work of it as Jagger Neves goes right up the middle all the way to the end zone from 46 yards out and make it 28-7 as San Juan strikes very quickly after getting the ball back here early in the second quarter.
I looked down to write down the possession change there, and all of a sudden you're in my ear saying, and here goes San Juan. I look up, and Jagger Neves is crossing the goal line.
Yeah, it's tough to keep up with these guys sometimes,
We need a volunteer professional stat taker.
We do. We do. Stats slow us down. We don't have time for stats when it comes to San Juan. And I've had some pretty good games where I've been close as Jagger Neves battles his way into the end zone right here.
That was just a lower the shoulder, and I'm gonna outman you.
And that was only for 2 points, but Neves doesn't care. He gets another opportunity to run over a South Sevier defender. Man, that looked no fun, as that was a big hit by Jagger Neves right there. And for Neves, it was a lot of fun as he knocked that defender down. The Broncos up by 23, 30-7, just 1:05 into the second quarter. And the Broncos suddenly have a 3-touchdown lead plus on the South Sevier Rams here in Monroe.
And it's momentum here in the first half, second half, and then you go to halftime. So San Juan's got that momentum. They've got South Sevier exactly where they want them. They just got to keep them. They got to keep the momentum on their side. It starts with special teams and then flows into defense. Got to get some big stops here and just keep putting points on the board. And I don't think, Rhett, I'm going to go out on a limb here. I don't think these starters are coming out of this game no matter what the score is.
Yeah, you might be correct tonight as San Juan kicks it away again here. So South Sevier behind the eight ball here as the Broncos have really established some momentum on the road, and now they're going to swallow up the kick returner at the 11. So South Sevier will have poor field position to start their fourth possession.
Mike and Keith and Quincy Singer, I know he's out there listening. Coach Musselman, 2 of his wrestlers down there, raining havoc on the kick return.
And I thought I saw a flag, but that's just the ball sitting down there. They mark him at the 12, actually.
I'm sorry, Quincy's a basketball player, so.
Nice.
His brother's a wrestler.
There you go. Well,
see, I'm so excited. I can't contain myself.
One thing's for sure, we're going to get some correction via text tonight. So got a lot of faithful listeners helping us out. There's Bridger Bradshaw. And man, I don't know what is going on with his traction, but again, it almost looks like he slid down as he tried to make a cut. He just loses his footing and goes down harmlessly after only a gain of 1.
Well, ran the option there, and he decided to keep it up the middle, saw something he liked. But you're right. The footing on the field. Now, the field is cut really short, but it's cold. And so you're getting a little bit of dew and probably a little bit of hard ground because it's, really cold out there. So you're getting a little bit of slippery, even though it's not really wet to look at. But you get that dew coming up, and then you mix it with that cold air. If your cleats are worn down for 10 games in the season, week 10, you probably should have put new cleats on.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. And obviously you can't go with the baseball spikes in football, but that might help him out tonight. But Bradshaw will work from under center here. He gets pressure, throws a lengthy pass to the right side, and it is nicely defended by Nash Young on the far side over there, who knocks it away out of bounds into the face of some of his teammates on the sideline, and that will make it a 3rd down and 8.
And unfortunately for Nash's mom and dad, they have braved the South Sevier sidelines over here. They're sitting in these stands because the stands over there are so packed. They had to come over here, and you would want to see him jump up and cheer, but he's surrounded by a sea of red.
I wondered.
It almost looks like a BYU fan.
I saw a blue and yellow blanket over here, so yeah. I thought that maybe, I was like, who is that?
Yeah.
It's just sitting over here by themselves. Wow. They might get hit in the back of the head with hamburgers tonight before this thing's all said and done. There's a beautiful pitch and catch, or is it going to be an interception?
It's a catch and a flag.
So what would be the flag
You're
here?
going to get a pass interference.
Really?
I'm assuming it's going to be a pass interference or a holding on San Juan.
It's going to be a 5-10. It's going to be about an 8-yard pass if it stands.
You're hoping it's a holding call. When he gets into his break, you reach out and grab onto him. Sometimes those defensive backs will reach out there and grab the jersey and tug it a little bit, slow their momentum. So if it's a holding, it's going to be a little less of a yardage than the pass interference.
Well, if the play itself stands, it's already 8 yards. So
pass interference.
Okay. So they'll mark that from the spot, huh? So that'll be a 1st down. So does the play count on that?
Yes.
Is my question?
Yep, he'll get the yards.
What's a very short yards?
No, he won't, because they took the penalty. So
right, so it's only the penalty. That's what I thought.
Yep.
So no catch on the play. It would have been for 8 yards. Instead, it goes for 15. So really, net-wise, I guess it does move the chains. So that's the real major benefit for South Sevier. That's why you accept the penalty, of course.
Their coach ain't down there looking at individual stats in that situation.
No, absolutely not. That moves the chains. That's the most important thing for them. Trying to complete a drive since their first touchdown earlier in the game. And it looks like they're going to have a very short run here from number 25, Hudson Flinders.
Trip Palmer able to stretch that defensive line out and just run him down and then just take him to the ground after a short gain of maybe 1.5 yards.
I mean, I've got a lot of 1s and 2s on my stat sheet for South Sevier right now. A lot of short yardage plays right now in this thing and a bunch of incompletions for quarterback Bradshaw as well. That's a pretty good last name to have as a quarterback here for South Sevier.
Yeah, South Sevier, Bradshaw's a good name on Beaver,
Uh-huh.
But when they run that triple option, they've had a lot of success, so I'd wait to see if they come back to that a little bit right here, especially out of that pro formation.
It's 2nd and 9 as Bradshaw drops back. He has pressure, and he's going to be hit as he throws. They nearly got to him to sack him, but instead he gets the ball out, and it'll be another incompletion. It'll be 3rd down and 9.
And even though you didn't get the sack, that's exactly what you want out of your defensive linemen, your defensive ends, to get in there and make him get those happy feet like we talked about in the pregame. It's exactly what happens. George McNaughton gets a big old hand on him.
Yeah, he got
and
a
then
sleeve.
Max Stearns coming from behind him, which makes him you're more inaccurate. If you can't set your feet, go through you get your hips squared.
Yeah, and
throw the ball.
That was one of our pregame notes, is if they can get pressure on the QB, and they have been, especially right here, and then that becomes mental if you're the quarterback. Even if they're not getting to you, that is mental. And this time he fakes a handoff and keeps it himself, and nothing up the middle for Bridger Bradshaw. Interesting play call on 3rd and 9, and you're inside your own 30 right there.
Yeah, they went on that. They were banking that San Juan would dive deep down the field, go down the line with Max Stearns, who's playing this right tackle, right defensive end in Coach Byron's off defense. And Max just stays home, does a perfect job, and then Max just squares him up, takes him down.
That's a 2-yard loss on the quarterback, and South Sevier is going to have to punt it away again. So the Bronco defense, again, even after the pass interference, shuts down South Sevier. And we'll get the ball back here, of course, barring a fake or the straight-up advanceable punt, too. We got to always watch out for that crazy play. This one's going to come down and take a little bit of a San Juan bounce, kind of dug in and bounced straight up. And it'll be good field position for the Broncos. They're going to start just shy of midfield at their own 42 here on their, I believe this is now 5th possession for the San Juan Broncos. Leading 30-7, 7:37 to go in the opening half. And, boy, if the Broncos can punch it in here, Art, they really are starting to make a little distance for themselves here.
Well, if we see the blocking and run that they had the last touchdown on one play, it's just going to light San Juan up.
One play strike last time, and they've been known to do that multiple times this year. They're going to get about 7, so it's not going to be a 67-yard run, but a 7-yard run for Jagger Neves is a good start.
Yeah, I love how he gets out there and just follows his blockers. He lets Big Cash Palmer get over there. He follows Gage, and then there's Bradford over there just making blocks downfield.
Bo Yeomans will look to pass this time and floats a beauty to the left side and hits his man on the run. It's Jagger Neves out of the backfield, and that's a big one. That'll go down near the 20.
And Jagger's down, and he's cramping. That's what's happening. He's got a cramp in his left calf.
That's going to be a 30-yard pass from Yeomans to Neves as these two connect again. And, man, that was just a real beauty right there. He just floated it out there, waited for Neves to get to the outside, and hit him beautifully.
And he hit him in stride, or Neves doesn't make that catch, because it was actually pretty good, almost textbook coverage. Had about a half a step. South Sevier, number 1, comes through with his arm, and then you can see that that softball cramp as Jagger rolls over. You can just see the expression on his face.
Terrible.
He gets those after playing a quarter and a half of football. Both sides never leaves the field.
We get those in the broadcast.
I get out of my car, walking to Maverick at Green River, and start cramping up.
I get that while I'm in bed, laying down sleeping. I might not have to do anything.
So we'll get that cramp worked out. Jagger going to have to come out for a play.
All right, we'll step aside while we got this minuscule injury timeout. 7:08 left in the first half. 30-7, San Juan. We'll take a real quick break. We'll be right back to South Sevier High School.
San Juan Building Supply in Blanding has lumber, tools, and building materials for any project. Enjoy quality products and expert advice. Call 435-678-2000 or come in and see us at 1050 South Main Street.
Welcome back to South Sevier High School as Jace Razor takes the handoff for San Juan with Jagger Neves out for one play. And Razor will get a quick 5 yards, I believe, for San Juan. Let's see where they spot him, right around the 15. So
6 red jerseys to take him down.
Yeah.
6 red jerseys on that kid.
He was waiting to get his first touch, you can see there, and he gets a quick 5 for the Broncos, maybe even 6. We'll say 6 since it took 6 guys to tackle him. And so now Jagger Neves, it looks like Razor stays in to the left of Bo Yeomans. Boy, there's a size disparity there. Yeomans will throw to the end zone, has Trip Palmer, who makes the catch, and it's a touchdown. A 16-yarder from Yeomans to Trip Palmer in the corner of the end zone. That was just like you draw it up, a beauty. And again, Yeomans hits his man in stride, and the Broncos are up 36-7.
What a float on that pass.
Yeah, that was pretty
good touch. If he throws that harder, it sails out of the end zone. And if he throws it a half a second later, Tripp is out of the end zone. He makes the catch. Everything just lined up perfect on that play.
And believe it or not, that's Trip Palmer's, Bo Yeomans' first touchdown pass of the game. It is San Juan's second touchdown pass of the game, but the first was from Jagger Neves. Actually, that's not true. I guess we have 2 here, I think. Or did I?
And our buddy George McNaughton gets the 2-point conversion there, Rhett.
There you go. Now I've got, you're going to have to help me out here. Yeah, I think I put in, I think what happened was I put in Jagger Neves' 14-yard touchdown run in Trip Palmer's spot here. So I got to figure this out. Stand by. I knew I had made an error at some point.
Well, Neves has 3 rushing touchdowns, 1 passing.
That's right.
And Tripp has a touchdown reception.
Yeah, so I missed that is what happened. I'll have to squeeze that in there. So now let me figure this out real quick. All right. We're good to go, I think. As now San Juan will kick it away. 6:22 to go in this first half as the Broncos increase their lead to 31, 38-7. And now the pursuit team here just swallows up the kick returner for South Sevier. Man, these guys for South Sevier on the kick return team are not right now able to block the Broncos' pursuit.
Well, that was Jace Razor on that tackle, so he gets done.
He's getting down there early.
Subbing in at running back, goes out there and says, hey, I need a tackle on the sheet.
Yeah, that's right. Let's see.
Jace is one of those kids that kind of came out of nowhere after last year. He gets an injury. He hurts his hand. You know, he battles through wrestling season, does a fantastic job. And then you just kind of never know how a kid's going to bounce back. And he is bounced. He is 110% upswing. As South Sevier goes to the ground, number 3 on the outside. He fumbles the ball. It's going to be fumbled out of bounds. So, wow. Save South Sevier on that one because the ball takes a bounce out of bounds. Watching the replay here.
Thanks for picking it up for me.
Punched out here. No, he just dropped
Oh,
it.
yeah, he dropped it, and it does roll out. That'll be a 5-yard gain, and, boy, you talk about a nervous moment for South Sevier. That would have almost sealed the deal right there for the Rams, but they get a break in this case, and it's a 5-yard run for Mason Healy. And now South Sevier will bring it back to the line of scrimmage after a fairly lengthy huddle. I don't see a play clock out here, so we're not able to see, but 6:10 to go. Clock is stopped after the fumble out of bounds, and now busting it to the outside is Healy. Oh, he's hit late, I think, here. Yeah. Maybe he's just shoved in the back.
Just a hand to stop himself, I think, is all that was, and good no call. But, yeah, you got to be careful of that stuff because you don't know what the ref sees. First down, South Sevier on a nice double reverse there.
Okay, so double reverse. That was a 10-yard.
They hand it off, and then the running back goes and then reverses this way.
And I said Healy. That's Cooper Castle who got the last touch. It was Healy who handed it to him. So Cooper Castle moves the chains after a 10-yard run on the double reverse. And 38-7 for San Juan. Clock has stopped since Castle went out of bounds. 6:03 to go in the first half. Broncos are up 38-7 here at South Sevier High School. Bradshaw will fake a handoff in the backfield. Now throws, and it's nearly picked off, but knocked out of bounds by Nash Young over there. Man, that was right to Young. He was unable to secure that, or that would have been the first turnover of the game.
Wow, he turned and looked just a half a second too late. If he turns a little earlier, maybe he's able to locate that ball because by the time he got his eyes around, that ball was right there.
And, man, for a quarterback who's been able to pass all year, it is not going well for Bridger Bradshaw, the senior here tonight. He's just 2 of 9 after that one.
For those that listening on 92.7, that was a lot of pressure out of Max Stearns. The sophomore defensive end is having a heck of a game. Might not show up with a lot of sacks, but quarterback hurries and pressures, it's going to show up in that stat.
Yeah, and sometimes even the hurries, I don't know if they get recorded correctly, but it's huge, getting pressure on the quarterback. And like we said, even if you're not, once you do, the first time, a couple times he gets hit, it becomes mental for that quarterback for the rest of the game. He pitches it this time, so he's not going to have to deal with it, and that's going to be a pretty good run and a very friendly spot over on the far side over there. I don't know if that's going to be the official. Looks like it was a 9-yard pickup on the pitch to Mason Healy.
Yeah, at first he said this far official signal first down, but you can clearly tell that he's at least a yard short.
Yeah, first down would have been unbelievably generous.
I mean, you can't, and as a far sideline official, you don't make that call.
So third down and 1. The Broncos looking for a stop here as South Sevier nears midfield. But down by 31 points, they desperately need to score on this possession with 5:52 left in the first half. They will be getting the ball to start the third quarter. The Broncos are going to pour into the backfield and drop Mason Healy for a loss this time. He ran into a wall at the line of scrimmage. In fact, a yard behind the line of scrimmage and loses 2.
Well, Coach, I'm having a brain fart here. Coach Bowering brings in Cash Palmer to make his line a little bigger, and then he sends Jonas Jepson on a blitz there, and they just overwhelmed that offensive line from South Sevier as they're able to push back. And anytime you can make that offensive lineman step back on a run play, you're doing your job. And so now it looks like South Sevier is determined to come out. I wouldn't be surprised for a hard count here on this or a fake punt. What do you got to lose if you're South Sevier? You want to stay relevant in this game, so you got to score some points somewhere.
Yeah, they bring the punt team out. It is a 4th and short, 4th and 2. They're going to send a man in motion on the punt here, and they will snap to the punter. He was looking to pass, and he's going to wing it into traffic as he's coming to the sideline, but a flag flies in the backfield. It is going to be an incomplete pass.
Yeah, so this will be a decline. This is going to be a block in the back. George McNaughton had a beat on the punter, and the South Sevier kid blocks him in the back. It's going to be declined. I don't know why you even have to ask, because it's a turnover on downs.
Man, so just like you said, Art, South Sevier rolls the dice and goes to the fake punt. Me, I wouldn't send that man in motion. That almost kind of telegraphs that you're going to do a fake right there. And, man, he threw toward his guys right there, but was being run out of bounds, and so he didn't really got a whole lot of technique on it.
Well, see, my personal opinion here is if you're going to go for it on 4th down, leave your offense out there. I know you're trying to catch the defense sleeping, and, we're going to be tricky here, but your offense is built to move the ball. Your punter's not.
Well, San Juan gets it on the turnover on downs ultimately, and Jagger Neves picks up where he left off, just running over South Sevier defenders as he picks up 6 hard-earned yards there. So right off the hop, Neves goes back to work.
And you just wonder how that cramp's doing as he kind of shakes his leg a little, so hopefully he's able to stretch that out.
He's going on a delayed pattern out of the backfield now, but Yeomans isn't going to target him. Instead, he's going to target Cole Duke in the end zone, who falls backwards to make the catch. It's a touchdown, San Juan, as they strike early again.
What a pass, what a catch. How many times have we said that tonight? Yeomans is showing here why he is one of the best quarterbacks in 2A football right now. As a sophomore, he has just grown up on this field in front of our eyes the last 10 weeks. And, man, that you couldn't have thrown that any better as a senior quarterback. 4-year starter. That was an outstanding throw, and not to undermine Cole Duke and his ability to go up, high point that ball, and bring it down. And now we get the 2-point by I believe, Jagger Neves.
Man, I tell you, the quick strikes tonight have been unreal for San Juan as Yeomans throws a 36-yarder this time, so that's 3 passing touchdowns in this first half. Jagger Neves got one on his 3rd pass attempt of the season. The first touchdown tonight, a 36-yard pass from Jagger Neves. Now Bo Yeomans gets his own 36-yard touchdown pass. And this time it's not to Trip Palmer, it's Cole Duke who gets the reception. And let me tally this up here, or try to take a look at it here for Cole Duke. It is his 4th touchdown catch of the season.
And I didn't want to say, I hate to jinx things, and I shouldn't probably say this. Knock on wood, rub my lucky rabbit's foot here. But I saw one of the players' families in Walmart, and they asked me what I thought, and I said, honestly, I think they'll win it going away by 40 points at least. And they have met that mark now.
Yeah, 46-7 as they're up by 39, so just shy of 40 points. But now South Sevier is going to break free on a kick return, and yeah, you can see these players all sliding like they're on skates on this field. Even the San Juan guys making the stop here. So it's an adjustment out here, learning the lack of traction on this field tonight.
Yeah, it's definitely a short, hard. It's, probably hasn't been watered other than the rain because of they probably shut off the sprinklers like everybody does, and that dirt gets hard, almost as hard as concrete. That field in October, late October, gets really hard out there.
Well, that was a really good return that time for Cooper Castle. Has South Sevier starting on the San Juan side of midfield at the 47.
Yeah, I should have kept my mouth shut.
And there's a short gain on 1st down. That's going to go for 2.
It's a quarterback keeper right there.
Okay, so Bradshaw, I didn't see. I thought it might have been Castle, but it was Bradshaw. So he gets 2 of his negative yards back. He's now got -1 yard rushing on the night. He's got 5 carries, but yeah, he is just 2 of 9 in the passing game. By the way, Bo Yeomans for San Juan, while I've got a chance to count this up. Let's see, he had 3 straight incompletions, but since then, he has completed, we'll get to that in just a second, as Bradshaw will throw complete.
First down.
I'm going to have to see a replay on this to see the distance maybe. Starting at the 45 exactly, that goes down to the 23, I'm going to say. So that's a 22-yard catch, or is that a 12-yard catch? That's a 12-yard catch, or 13.
We've got 3 minutes and 15 seconds as the clock is running here.
And
left in this half. 3 minutes now.
Okay, still running.
Yeah, South Sevier taking a long time on this play right here.
Yeah, that's interesting. That's the first catch for Cooper Castle, if that's a correct stat. I may have missed some stuff, but Bradshaw's ready to go, working from the shotgun. Takes the snap, now rolls out to his right. Doesn't have a lot of pressure this time, and he's going to throw complete right to the sticks, or a yard shy.
Going to be second down.
A 9-yard pass, and I'm still trying to see the number on that man to see who that is.
Number 4.
Thank you. That would be his first catch, a 9-yard catch. Let's see if I can. They usually give me a little bit more time than the San Juan offense. That's Cannon Barney. We've heard that name before.
Yeah, 2:20 left on the clock for those that listen on the radio as South Sevier is just outside the red zone.
And Bradshaw will take it on a design quarterback run. He's going to try to bust it out to the outside and loses the ball, but is able to fall on it, I believe. But, man, you can see him skating across the field as he tries to stop. You just got to get used to that slide. That's a good 2-yard slide as he tried to cut that corner, but he does get just enough to move the chains on a couple-yard gain. Man, that was nip and tuck right there. Trying to get the yardage he needed.
Max Stern's right there, and unfortunately unable to get that fumble as it bounced right back into Bradshaw.
Yeah, and he nearly turned it over again. That's the second time they put the ball on the turf and second time they haven't lost it. So I believe that's, they have 3 fumbles they've lost this year. I think that's now 9 fumbles that they've had this season, and they've only lost 3 of them. So here's Bradshaw dropping back to pass, looking like he was trying to set up the screen, and he just falls down as he tries to get away from George McNaughton there. And you talk about a QB hurry. That was textbook right there. I think he actually gets the sack there, doesn't he?
Max Stearns, I think, is going to get the stat right here.
Okay, yeah, he touches him.
Yeah, Max Stearns.
So Stearns gets the sack, and that's going to be a huge loss of pretty much 10 yards.
And Max has had a big game here tonight in this first half as we're stopped the clock at 1:33. But Max, another one of those sophomores that is starting in the defense for Coach Bowering, just doing phenomenal things. And, man, he's like 6'2", 6'3", maybe even 6'4". I don't know. I stand next to the kid. He makes me look short. But just a phenomenal kid, and he's been plagued with some injuries and missed a few games, but he is playing his butt off tonight. That kid.
Yeah, you called him on a couple occasions.
It means something to all these kids, no matter if you're on the sidelines, you're hurt. Anytime that someone comes out and says, hey, you're not as good as we thought you were, this team, they're the real deal. Yeah. Man, it just lights a fire underneath you. Well, and you can see that in the Broncos.
We got 93 seconds to go here. San Juan up big, 46-7. So they are in position to have the second half running clock. Unless South Sevier can answer right here, that would change things.
Second and long, second 20.
Yeah, after that big loss, they've got they're way out near their own 30 now as we get a little pitch, and a halfback pass is going to be intercepted or just incomplete. Boy, that was closer for San Juan than South Sevier. That's a couple of attempts now. We do have a flag. Okay. Wonder.
It's right there on the 18-yard line.
So that's the secondary for San Juan.
And it's going to be against San Juan, as you can tell the players, pass interference.
So that will, I don't know if that's going to give South Sevier a first down, or is it an automatic first down?
No, it's not.
So that should be, I'm thinking it's going to be second down and about 15 here. Or, sorry, second and 5. Should be second and 5, I think, after they mark this off, and it's going to go down near the 15-yard line. So, yeah, second and 5, maybe second and 4. But it is at the right around the 14, I guess, once the officials put it down there. So that benefits South Sevier, obviously, on the penalty for San Juan. And second down, and we'll say a long 4 for Bridger Bradshaw and the South Sevier Rams as he will work from under center. San Juan tries to time the blitz. Bradshaw slips away. Now he is wrapped up, and the ball goes out of bounds. I don't know if that's going to be an incomplete pass or a fumble, but they got to Bradshaw again, forcing the errant play here.
And the officials are going to talk about it. It looked like it came out like he tossed it a little bit. But
yeah, he does make a motion. He does make a motion to throw.
But it didn't go forward.
No, and that's I don't know if can that be intentional grounding back here? Nobody was in the vicinity. Boy, it was a weird release for sure. I think he was. Yeah, they were in doubt about what to call on that.
Yeah, I think they're just going to call
fumble out of bounds is what? So if so, that would be way back. Yeah, that's going to be a big loss of yardage if it's a fumble.
3rd and 12.
Yeah, so that was indeed a loss of 7. So it continues to get worse in the running game for Bridger Bradshaw. And now a huge 3rd down for the South Sevier Rams, who have some action going on now. Trip Palmer out of nowhere gets to the quarterback. Oh, and the ball bounces straight in the air, and that nearly was the most fortuitous bounce of all time for South Sevier as that went off the hand of the San Juan defender. All he had to do is knock it down to the turf, but he nearly gave him a gift. But instead it is incomplete.
Holy cow, what a play. And I was just had my fingers crossed over here that the head official wasn't going to throw a flag right here on a late hit out of bounds.
Yeah.
And I think the momentum took them that way, and so great no call. But a big 4th down here for both teams, and an unreal bounce right there. It could have been,
that was
6 inches back. He might catch that.
We had all day to watch that bounce through the air and nearly be caught for what would have been, I think, a 1st and goal. But now a big 4th down here, and Bradshaw throws toward the end zone, and this time it will be intercepted by San Juan right at the goal line or in the end zone, I believe, for a touchback.
Brig Palmer.
Wow, Brig Palmer with the interception. And, man, so that will be San Juan football with 1:08 to go in the first half at the 20.
And the best thing about that interception is it happened in the end zone, so we're going to bring that ball out to the 20, and we'll be 1st and 10.
Brig Palmer's 3rd interception this season. And it's been close all game for those. A nice pose by Brig Palmer as he stands up. Let me, I don't know if I'm going to have enough time to get this done here. But
empty set for Yeomans as he draws back, 3 to the right, 2 to the left.
He will throw for Nash Young at midfield and has his man as they gash the defense again. So make it a 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. That's another 30-plus yard pass, 32-yard pass, I think.
This is typical Coach Crinston, man. Into the half, he wants to go score no matter how much time's left.
So Nash Young gets the catch. Help me remember that. Yeomans will look to pass again. Throws a bullet over the middle to Trip Palmer this time, and it's going to go down to the 20-yard line. As they go for 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 this time. Back-to-back completions for Bo Yeomans as they slice up this defense. So let me get Nash Young's catch on here. That was his first catch of the night, I believe, unless I've missed something. And then a 25-yarder for Trip Palmer. They're going to call a timeout. That helps me out a little bit here.
Yeah, and South Sevier's coach is out there giving it to the white hat. He's not happy about something. I don't know what you can not be happy with other than how your defense played on those 2 plays.
Well, yeah, what can you say? But it will be a 1st down for San Juan just inside the 20-yard line of South Sevier with 48 seconds to go. And again, the Broncos knocking on the door yet again, trying to add to this already sizable 46-7 lead here late in the first half.
Well, I'll tell you a story after halftime when we come back about that bulletin board material and how football teams internalize it, because it happened to me in a football game once, and it was not pretty.
All right. We'll look forward
I'll leave
to
you
that.
in suspense
We'll
with
look
that.
forward to that. As Yeomans will work from the shotgun. Drops back, looks to the left, has Jagger Neves, who basically was uncovered over there, and he'll just get a quick 13 yards if you don't mind, down inside the 10, so the Broncos have a 1st and goal as they just are moving with ease here. Jagger Neves, 2nd catch of the night, I believe. I may have that incorrect. But Yeomans this time will hand off, or that's maybe the inside shuttle pass, and it'll be a touchdown Is that Young?
Nash Young, yep.
Nash Young. And a flag flies late as the players are all getting up. So we'll have to check that. We'll see how it goes. But the shuttle pass goes for a 7-yard touchdown, and the Broncos have made it. They haven't put it up on the board yet, but it would be 52-7. We'll see after we check this flag here.
Touchdown's good.
On South Sevier. So the frustration setting in a little bit for South Sevier here. So it's a 7-yard touchdown pass.
And the stands are already emptying. I don't know.
Well, we might have
fans are
give them the benefit of the doubt.
Maybe they're going to go home and watch us.
They might they might be getting ready to take photos of their girls performing at halftime or something. I don't know. But a 7-yard touchdown pass from Bo Yeomans to Nash Young. So I think it was his first catch of the night, that 32-yarder, and now this touchdown catch for 7 yards. San Juan adds the extra point. I think this time was it a kick from Trip Palmer, or did he go in for 2? 2-point conversion for San Juan. Thanks, guys. And the Broncos continue to stretch it out and obviously making a statement here tonight, Art. With all the publicity on this one, that was a pass to Brig Palmer from Bo Yeomans. And the Broncos have just been impressive here tonight against the #1 team in the state and the undefeated South Sevier Rams, 9-0. And the Broncos now well in position to have a running clock for the entire second half, up 54-7.
I'll tell you, these coaching staffs, they take it personally when people start saying stuff about their team. And I guess I'll tell that story now. We're in for this kickoff.
Okay.
You know, we went to, when I was coaching at Monticello, I went and played a team who was highly ranked, who had one of the best quarterbacks in the state at the time. He went on to play some college ball, still does. And we were just supposed to get wiped the floor with, and we went in there, hung with them. They beat us by 1 touchdown in that game.
Mm-hmm.
And afterwards, a member of the coaching staff, not me, I'm going to disclaimer that, not telling on myself, made a comment to the newspaper that our kids going into the semifinal game, we had a matchup with them, that our kids, hey, we believe we can play with these guys now. We're just as good as them. And that's all Coach Thane Marshall needed to put 74 points on us.
Yeah.
And after the game, I went up to him because I've always been good friends with him. Hey, Coach, why would you do that to me? He goes, hey, no one says they can hang with my team. And at the time when they had Bryson Barnes, no one could.
Yeah.
So I kind of think this is the kind of same way. You get a lot of people questioning how good your team is this year because they lose on a fluke play to Beaver, and then they lose to a good team in Manti, and people start questioning you now.
Yeah.
Which is just ridiculous in my mind.
Well, this ball was booted out the back of the end zone due to the
penalty,
personal foul on South Sevier. So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Rams from their own 20. They desperately need points, obviously, right now. They can't stave off a running clock in the second half, but they can at least maybe get on the board here. Here's Bradshaw, who's going to get a good run. He's going to be wrapped up by Trip Palmer, but he's going to get an 11-yard run. And that will move the chains, but now the clock will be a factor. Just under 30 seconds to go. I think they still have a timeout left.
I believe they have one, yes.
11-yard run for the QB here. So 1st and 10 as they get about to the 33. Now Bradshaw will air one out right side, and it's going to be knocked away by some nice defense from Nash Young. He's been outstanding over there tonight, but it looks like he is going to be called for a second pass interference tonight. But
yeah, I think that official doesn't necessarily know the rules on pass interference. He thinks if you're close to the guy and he doesn't catch it, that's the reason why pass interference. Because he's thrown a couple of those tonight. And I just question it.
Looking at the replay on Stream Utah, it shows the receiver late, and from that point on, there's definitely no foul. But not sure what happens before we see him on the screen there. Yeah, there's nothing after we see him on the screen, that's for sure. But yeah. And now it looks like we got the ball on the hash over here. They were on the other hash. Now they'll just shift it over here. 1st and 10 on the penalty.
19 seconds.
And Bridger Bradshaw's flushed out by who else but George McNaughton. He'll throw on the run out of bounds on the far side. That'll stop the clock with, oh boy, that play only took 1.4 seconds. That's amazing.
It was at 19 and now it's at 14.
Oh, I thought you said 16. So.
Yep, so 19 to 14.
Okay, so that is an incompletion over there. That's his first pass attempt officially since the interception. The pass interference attempt did not count. So 2nd and 10, near midfield for South Sevier. And a nice pitch and catch, really a great catch that time. And that will go for 5, 10, 15, about 20 yards. I didn't see who made that catch. You might have to help me out on the replay there.
Number 1, I believe.
Okay.
Yep, number 1.
20-yard catch. Now they're going to use a timeout, I think, here with 10 seconds to go. And for South Sevier, it's Race Freeman's first catch of the night. So you get some of these kids getting their first touch of the night. And now, while we've got a timeout, we'll step aside. Again, 10 seconds to go in the first half. It's 54-7 San Juan. Friday Night Lights on Red Rock 92 and StreamUtah.Live.
Lee Collision Repair and Restoration in Blanding offers top-quality auto body and glass services. Visit us on North Grayson Parkway or call Jackson at 435-485-0069 today.
San Juan Credit Union. Your money, your future, your credit union. We have branches available in Blanding, Monticello, and Bluff. Come on down and see us.
San Juan County Adult Education empowers adults with technical, business, and college skills to join the workforce. Earn a high school diploma or GED. Visit a USU Learning Center or email gina.grover@sjsd.org to learn more.
X right on the neck.
Back live to South Sevier High School in Monroe as Bridger Bradshaw throws a good pitch and catch, but I don't think it's going to stand, as that'll be holding on South Sevier, so that play will be erased. And boy, you talk about a dagger to yourself here when you really haven't had much going and you finally start to march the ball here a little bit offensively, and that hold will bring an abrupt stop to it right here. And now you're down to just 4.5 seconds to go here in the half, down 54-7. And you got the ball all the way back out beyond your own 40 here at the 42.
Kind of a timeout, so they must have had – San Juan must have called one of those timeouts then.
Okay, I was going to say.
This must be their third. But going back to that previous play, Max Stearns had the edge, comes around, and that offensive tackle, he could do nothing but just bulldog him, grab him around the horns, around the head, and try to impede his progression. And luckily the white hat, rightfully so, saw it and threw the flag.
So when we come back, the down doesn't necessarily matter at this point. I think it's first down for South Sevier, but they're out of time. We're going to probably have one more play, 2 at the most.
Yeah, you got to throw it to the end zone.
Yeah,
here.
Bradshaw's going to have to take a couple shots here if he gets to. If he has only one, this is it, obviously. But
this is where Coach Bowering's defense, you got to come out in your cover 4, almost a prevent style defense here. Try to get a little pressure on the quarterback. Contain him on the outside with your up backs, but and exactly, cover 4 defense is what they have.
So it is probably the last play of the half here as Bradshaw will work from the shotgun. He pump fakes, and now he's going to be flushed, and he's in bad trouble. He throws against his body on the run, and that doesn't find its way to anybody, and time expires as the incompletion ends the half. It's a 54-7 lead for the San Juan Broncos, who have come into South Sevier High School, the site of the #1 team in the 2A ranks, with their 9-0 record. But it's in bad jeopardy tonight as San Juan is up by 47 points after 24 minutes of play. We will take a break and we'll return for the halftime report. Stay with us. It's Friday Night Lights on Red Rock 92 and StreamUtah.Live.
For over 75 years, San Juan Health has offered top medical care in Blanding, Monticello, and Spanish Valley. Visit sanjuanhealth.org for our services. San Juan Health, chasing perfection since 1947.
Utah Navajo Health System is a series of community health centers providing medical, dental, and behavioral health care to Utah Navajo. With operations in Blanding, Montezuma Creek, Monument Valley, Navajo Mountain, and Monticello, UNHS offers a remarkable variety of services to our patients throughout San Juan County and the northern portion of Navajo Nation.
Need fast internet in San Juan County? Emory Telcom delivers blazing fast fiber with no contracts and free installation. Power your home with reliable connectivity. Visit emorytelcom.com for details today.
Get the resources and quality of a big school education and the support of a smaller school at Utah State Blanding. Explore over 70 degree and certificate programs to find your perfect fit and experience personalized learning with small class sizes and dedicated faculty while getting the classic college experience. A Utah State education is affordable too, thanks to competitive tuition and tons of scholarship opportunities. Visit blanding.usu.edu to learn more about becoming an Aggie in Blanding.
In career and technical education, your classroom is more than a place to learn. It's where your future begins. Here, you'll gain real-world skills and turn your talent into opportunity. Learn the skills, build your dream, and step into your career starting today.
Monson's Quality Meat Processing in Blanding provides processing for both wild and domestic animals. They also carry USDA choice steaks, ground beef, and 14 unique flavors of handmade bratwurst. Monson specializes in friendly service, the highest quality products, and flexible timing, all at a competitive price. That's Monson's Quality Meat Processing at 885 East Pinion Ridge Road in Blanding. Call 435-459-1401 or find them on Facebook.
Desert Rivers Credit Union offers mortgages, low fees, and great rates for all credit scores. Enjoy local service and a nationwide ATM network. Desert Rivers Credit Union, for people, not profit.
Since 2009, Blue Mountain Hospital has set the standard for rural healthcare, bringing excellence in healing, quality care, and inspired staff to San Juan County. We offer the county's only accredited sleep center, compassionate labor and delivery, top-tier emergency care, and flexible dialysis options. At BMH, our comprehensive services are delivered by a passionate team. Visit bmhutah.org to learn more. We can't wait to meet you.
San Juan Public Health in Blanding offers vital records, immunizations, WIC, and health education. Protect your family's health with our services. Visit 735 South 200 West or call 43558733838.
Need insurance? Jeff Nielsen at San Juan Insurance in Blanding offers auto, home, life, and health coverage. With more than 25 years experience, call 435-678-3223 or visit 60 North Main Street today.
Holiday Construction is your one-stop source for gravel, concrete, excavation services, and custom hauling. We've proudly served San Juan County with quality and dedication for over 40 years. Call Holiday Construction today at 435-678-2028. We're proud supporters of high school sports and our community.
With a changing economy and advancing technology, it's time that marketing and selling of real estate in San Juan County catches up. Four Corners Homes and Property Management is changing the game. Every Four Corners Homes listing includes 3D mapping and virtual tours, professional photos, a digital and global 21st century footprint, and marketing exposure that makes it easy for buyers to find and identify what makes your listing unique. Marketing and exposure sells real estate, and if you want the best, you need Four Corners Homes on your team. Find us at fourcornershomes.net or call 801-404-0058.
Oh, yeah, I got it. How to nourish plant. How to rescue plant. How to... Where to buy new plant.
Diamond Propane in Blanding, Utah is the only locally owned and operated propane dealer in San Juan County. Call Chas Jacobson today at 435-678-2010 to fill your tank. Diamond Propane is a proud sponsor of local high school sports.
Ready to own a home across Utah or Colorado? The Britt Barton team at Primary Residential Mortgage, with over 30 years experience, delivers custom loans, great rates, and friendly advice. Sit with Britt and begin your journey today. Primary Residential Mortgage Incorporated is an equal housing lender, MLS number 3094.
Pain or injury sidelining you? Precision Rehab restores you and your loved ones back to peak performance with physical therapy in Monticello, Blanding, Montezuma Creek, and Monument Valley. Covered by most insurances. Call 435-678-3869 or visit precisionrehabutah.com.
Planning a weekend project? Red Zay's Hardware in Blanding has paint, tools, grills, and yard supplies from top brands like Craftsman and Weber. Visit us for great deals and expert advice.
Here at Lisle Northern Electric, we take pride in our highly qualified team, dedicated to serving our community. Whether you need commercial, residential, or solar electrical services, our certified experts are ready to meet your needs. We are proud to support our community, especially our youth and high school athletics. Lisle Northern Electric, serving our community since 1957.
With over half a century of combined experience, Countywide Realty has guided more deals than any other local team. From farms and ranches to homes and land, no one knows San Juan County like Countywide Realty.
Buying, selling, or refinancing. Trust Anderson Oliver Title Insurance Agency, Southeastern Utah's only locally owned title company, serving San Juan and Grand counties for over 25 years. Visit us today.
At Energy Fuels, creating opportunities and participating in the local community is important to us. Thanks to our dedicated employees, we're safely producing critical materials that support cleaner energy sources and a better planet for future generations. Knowing that the youth of today will make great contributions tomorrow, Energy Fuels is a proud supporter of high school athletics within our communities.
Blue Mountain Foods, Monticello's hometown grocer, offers fresh meat, deli, bakery, and curbside pickup. Check BlueMountainFoods.com for weekly specials. Open 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. at 64 West Center Street.
Canyonlands Tire and Blanding offers top quality tires, auto repairs, and fast service. Stop by for all your tire needs. Your local tire experts at Canyonlands Tire.
At Red Mechanical, we believe strong communities start with strong support, and that includes cheering on our local high school athletes. We've proudly served the Four Corners with dependable HVAC and plumbing solutions, keeping homes and businesses comfortable season after season. From the field to your front door, we're here for you. Red Mechanical, proud supporters of high school sports and our local communities.
San Juan Building Supply in Blanding has lumber, tools, and building materials for any project. Enjoy quality products and expert advice. Call 435-678-2000 or come in and see us at 1050 South Main Street.
Welcome back live to South Sevier High School in Monroe, Utah. It is the site of our Friday Night Lights matchup tonight on Red Rock 92 and StreamUtah.Live. It's halftime here and a 54-7 lead for the San Juan Broncos, who came into this game as the number 2 team. But with a 7-2 record this year, they have played a number of very tough teams, quality opponents this year, where South Sevier, coming in with the 9-0 record, did not have the same strength of schedule. And that's what we're seeing on the field here tonight. San Juan is heavily outmatching South Sevier here tonight on their home turf and kind of ruining the party a bit. The Rams looking for their first ever undefeated regular season, and it is looking like that is not going to come to pass in 2025. As we'll take a look at some first half stats now, and boy, offensively, the San Juan defense holding South Sevier to just 122 total yards in that first half. 57 passing, 65 rushing. And when you look at Bridger Bradshaw, a tough first half. He was just 5 of 16, and that's if I didn't miss any incompletions. I can't claim to be perfect in that department. So no touchdown passes for the senior quarterback. He does have the 1 interception, and all 57 of those yards passing belong to Bridger Bradshaw. So, yeah, not a whole lot to share with you here. As far as the rushing game goes, let's see. It looks like most of the yardage to Mason Healy, the junior. He has 5 carries, 42 yards in that first half, and a decent first half for Cooper Castle, the junior also. He had 5 carries for 27 yards, and he did register the only touchdown tonight so far for South Sevier, an 11-yard run back in the first quarter. That is their only tally, and that pretty much accounts for most of the rushing yardage right there. Race Freeman had 1. I'm sorry, that was a catch. So, yeah, I think that's all the rushing yardage right there for South Sevier. And really the receivers, let's see, a 13-yard catch for Cooper Castle, 15 yards on 2 catches for Mason Healy, and 1 20-yard catch for Race Freeman, and a 9-yard catch for Cannon Barney, and that is it. And I didn't mention the rushing yards for the quarterback, Bridger Bradshaw, and unfortunately for him, most of these registered on sacks or tough losses, and so he has 9 carries tonight for -5 yards. So obviously pretty rough offensively. I'd say better stated, Art, it was a very strong first half defensively for San Juan.
Yeah, I think they came out, South Sevier, and really had a lot of momentum that first drive.
Right, looked good in the first drive.
And had some wind in their sails.
Couple of key penalties in that drive, though, that kept them going.
Yeah, definitely aided them on that 4th down, or they turn it over, and then they go in and score. And then San Juan, it's been all San Juan after that. South Sevier's had some plays. They've stretched the field a little bit, but San Juan has that bend, don't break attitude on defense, and they have bent a little. But, man, when they've needed it, they have stepped up. And I'll tell you, Coach Bowering's defensive calling, some blitzes that he's called, some different coverage packages, has really been outstanding tonight. And it's just a chess match when you're over there coaching defense against an offense, trying to figure out where they're going to go, the down and distance, what their tendencies are from watching film, and then just trying to out-coach the other side of the field. And Coach Bowering's done a heck of a job tonight in doing that, in my opinion.
Well, let's move over and take a look at San Juan now. And for Bo Yeomans, this is all unofficial, of course, but I have him 15 of 18. That's pretty good. 3 passing touchdowns tonight, 269 yards for the sophomore in this game so far. And I'm not sure. We haven't seen a blowout like this and the starters stay on the field. In my opinion, it'd be kind of fun tonight just based on the press and the comments made this past week leading up to this game. It'd be kind of fun to see these guys stay in all game and see what might happen. But obviously it's going to be a much quicker half with the running clock going on, so I'm not sure exactly how much damage there can be done at this point anyway. But Jagger Neves also with a passing touchdown in that first quarter, 36-yard passing TD, his second completion of the season, and that got us started tonight. That was how the game started, or the scoring started. But, man, Jagger Neves just continues to do damage on the ground as well. He has 13 carries tonight for 160 yards and 3 additional rushing touchdowns. So he's up to 31 of those on the season, and he is now up to 74 total touchdowns in his career now, which has him firmly in 3rd place all time in the state of Utah football across all classifications. If he scores 3 more touchdowns, he'll tie for 2nd place all time, and then I don't know if 100 is reachable. So that's the 1st place man right now in the state of Utah, and that goes back a ways. So the other 2 marks are very reachable. Actually, he reached one tonight, and then he could end up being 2nd place all time in the state in career touchdowns. So congratulations to Jagger Neves on those things. I know some of that is not obviously near as important as the team game, but, man, in taking the pleasure of getting things done for your team, I guess it's okay to accomplish things individually as well. But he's also caught the ball twice tonight. He's got those 2 catches for 43 yards, so Yeomans has targeted him on a couple of occasions. I hope not, but I may have missed one of his catches or something. I'm not sure. I was putting some stuff in the wrong column at some point during that first quarter, so hopefully I didn't mess it up too bad. But Trip Palmer, 137 yards receiving in that first half, 9 catches, and he has 2 more touchdown catches, and so that bumps him up to 12 of those on the season. For Bo Yeomans, it's 26 passing touchdowns on the season now, and like I mentioned, Jagger Neves got his first passing touchdown of the season in the first quarter. Nash Young has 2 catches tonight for 39 yards so far. He's got a 7-yard touchdown catch. Cole Duke had 3 catches, 78 yards, and a 36-yard touchdown reception. Mike and Keith has 1 catch for 9 yards tonight. So a lot of guys getting in on the action, and we'll see what happens here in the second half. We're going to keep it right here as we kind of wrap up the halftime report here, and obviously going to have a quicker second half, so we're having to try to get some of these sponsors in, but we might have a couple of scores to report here along the way here as we get set for the kickoff to start the third quarter. I put you on the spot, I guess. Art's having to enter in his social security number to get back in his phone over here. So
no problem. Yeah, so some scores coming out right now. Monticello leads Water Canyon as they have their senior night in Monticello, 39-6. And then some two-way scores to look at here. One that's really interesting to me is Delta. As I get down here, I just lost it. We were just talking about Delta Emory. According to Des News, 6-7 in favor of Emory, so a tight contest there. And then a lot of teams played Wednesdays and Thursdays, but Summit Academy, Layton Christian, 3-0 in favor of Summit Academy. And I really believe that if Summit Academy is on the same side of the state bracket as South Sevier, Summit Academy probably wins that game in my mind as we go to the kickoff here. So you can look at the scores up on DesNews.com.
Yeah, if you want to check, feel free. We don't have any more to report, and we are underway now in the second half as South Sevier receives the kick, and they're going to start from right around their own 30-yard line, it would appear. And again, we've got a running clock here in the second half, and my guess, Art, is they're going to be more by the book, a little bit less liberal with the running clock here tonight than we've seen in Blanding these past couple weeks. So.
And the clock is running as once the ball's set, it's supposed to run.
That's right. And so South Sevier will get the first opportunity here in this third quarter as Bridger Bradshaw brings him to the line of scrimmage, working in the shotgun, calling to his running back. And will now drop back, has pressure, eludes the pressure, but now has to try to cut it up. He reverses through the defenders and staying at home to make a nice open field stop over here on the near side is Trip Palmer. And that will drop Bridger Bradshaw for a 4-yard loss.
Wow, and you'll watch it on the replay here at the end of this play. Number 53 for South Sevier raises his hand like he's going to slug Cash Palmer, which I would not endorse because Cash is a big guy. But the ref standing right there, and he doesn't throw the flag on that. I mean, that's an unsportsmanlike.
Look at these guys having trouble with the traction, too. We've seen it mainly from Bridger Bradshaw. That was when it was most evident. But, man, guys are slipping all over this field and just not sure with the cutting. And now if this thing is caught, that's an outrageous catch, and it is. And we get a little stare down after the catch here as that is going to go for 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. That's a 30-yard pass from Bridger Bradshaw to start out the second half.
Number 7 on the catch.
And, thank you. As they'll bring it right up to the line of scrimmage and go hurry up a little bit. That is Crew Red, his first catch of the night, coming here in the third quarter. And now Bridger Bradshaw stands at the midfield line and will hand off on a little slot back around here. And it looks like that's going to be number 25, Hudson Smith. No, excuse me, that's not Hudson Smith. There's 2 Hudsons on this team. Hudson Flinders, my apologies.
And he is a
little hobbled, I saw that.
Hobbles off the field.
He's got 4 yards on that carry, but we'll see. I imagine he'll come back in. These kids are young and rubbery, but he's going to take a break for this play at 2nd down and 6. As Bradshaw will dial his own number and pushes it forward following blockers off right guard. He'll get another 4, and that's going to make it 3rd down and 2.
And if you're San Juan, you've got to match the momentum here at the start of the second half. We saw this out of South Sevier at the beginning of the first half is they come out with a lot of moxie, and they just try to move the ball down the field and big plays. if you're San Juan's defense, you've got to really make a stand here.
Yeah, boy, the supreme difference of having the running clock is evident here. We're now under 9 minutes to go in this third quarter, and so already over 3 minutes in, and I think we'd had 2, maybe 3 touchdowns at this point in the first quarter. Here's Bradshaw, play action in the backfield, hits his man, and he's going to go all the way from 37 yards out. It's a touchdown pass for Bridger Bradshaw as South Sevier strikes early in the third quarter. And that is number 6 on the catch. Give me just a second. 37-yard touchdown pass, and that bumps it up as finally some action for this South Sevier offense. I know they're going to do a kick here to try to add the extra point. No 2-point try for these guys. That has been the bread and butter for San Juan, but the kick is up and good, so that's going to be 14 for South Sevier. That makes it 54-14, back to a 40-point lead.
Yeah, it's the same kind of thing we saw out of the first drive out of this Rams team is just they come out. I'm sure they went at halftime. They talked about exactly, okay, we're going to run these 5 plays to start with or even 10 plays. A lot of coaches will do that. They'll come out and they'll talk about those things at halftime. What do we need to do to be successful on this group of plays? And then after that, you kind of just start throwing in your plays as the game goes. And you see that as they did that, they were really dialed in offensively, and they kind of caught San Juan a little bit on their heels with some run plays and a big pass play downfield where just wide open. And if you're San Juan, you got to just really tighten up now. I know you're up big, 54-14, but you don't want to give this team the luxury of coming back and scoring 20, 30 points and making this thing a little closer. You want a dominant win out of this game.
It was 72 yards passing and 4 yards rushing on that drive.
It also allows that score does kind of help San Juan, though, Rhett. It allows their offense to be able to stay out there, starters to stay out there.
And not make it look
controversial,
yeah.
Because now you're, trying to get the
get
spread.
that, answer that. Yeah, that's right. And South Sevier's going to go with an onside, and they're going to get it as that bounced off of a man who was down at midfield for San Juan. And so South Sevier's going to get the football here with 8:24 to go in the third quarter.
Tide can turn quickly in high school football. You got to come out and match in the level of what am I trying to say here, Rhett?
Intensity.
Yes, intensity.
Yeah.
I feel that just a bad bounce right there for the Bronco on the front line on that onside kick.
And that is 1st and 10 for South Sevier from their own 44. And it is 44. And that gives the crowd a little bit of something to cheer about here tonight on senior night. They haven't had much tonight. But again, the clock is running. We're down to 7:45 to go in the third quarter. South Sevier, the only touchdown so far in this second half, looking to add to it right here as Bridger Bradshaw slips a little bit of a tackle. He falls ahead for 11 yards.
First down run by the quarterback.
That does.
They've got the momentum right now.
That moves the chains to the San Juan 45.
Got to see some intensity out of that defense. They've really got to break down, control their lanes, and get pressure side to side. They can't let them outside of them. Got to just march them down the left and right here if you're the defensive ends.
Bridger Bradshaw working from the shotgun, takes the snap. They pull the line to the left. And throwing over the middle, incomplete is Bradshaw. He threw into double coverage intended for Cooper Castle, so that's his first incompletion of the second half. That makes it 2nd and 10 at the San Juan 45. Bradshaw with 2 completions here in the third before that, including the 37-yard touchdown. So he is now 7 of 19 on the night. And again, even though it's an incompletion with the running clock rules here in the second half, it continues to tick down. We're down to 6:20 to go in this third quarter. Nearly midway through the third frame here. San Juan up 54-14. And wow, McNaughton got to Bradshaw before he had a chance to even think about it. McNaughton didn't get him, but that helped to push him into some other Broncos.
Max Stern
gets his second sack of the night, and a big loss of 10 yards for South Sevier. Looks like maybe a 9-yard loss. 9-yard loss on the sack, and I think That's just the second official sack tonight. Both to Max Stearns.
Great play there by Coach Bowering to dial up that to get those guys in there, and great pressure by the defensive line.
And I don't know if that's the same play that they ran last week. McNaughton comes through there like he's a running back coming through a hole as that pass incomplete downfield, and the South Sevier receiver lobbying for a pass interference. That would have been a long one if it was complete, but incomplete.
I'll tell you, the South Sevier players are lobbying for calls every play almost, and now we're going to see the punt team come out. But, yeah, you had the quarterback lobbying for, as he kind of did the LeBron James flopperoo back there, and then you have the receiver lobbying for a PI.
Yeah, the LeBron James flopperoo. That's the official play.
You go back and watch this later and see that quarterback, and that was he must be in the one-act play at South Sevier High School because that was awesome.
That's awesome. So it looks like the Rams are going to be forced to punt it away. A little bit of a high snap, but so the onside kick recovered by South Sevier is not going to hurt San Juan. And this beauty of a punt will roll down to the 10-yard line. So San Juan's going to start at their own 10 with 4:37 left.
Yeah, that's a huge defensive stand right there after giving up the onside kick, Rhett, because that would have definitely huge momentum swing if South Sevier can put that in the end zone. But the defense stood strong. A lot of pressure that time too, and players getting back there. And you're right, sometimes they're not making the play, but they're able to get back there and hurry the quarterback.
So the Broncos have it starting at the 10, and we'll see their offense for the first time in this second half as Jagger Neves takes the handoff and picks up where he left off, and he's going to gash the defense all the way out near the 30. We'll see where they spot it. Looks like at the 29, so make that a 19-yard run for Jagger Neves, and the Broncos are off to the races here in the third quarter. 1st and 10 up at the 29. Yeomans with the shuttle pass inside to Trip Palmer, his favorite receiver, and that will go for another 11 yards, maybe 12, and a first down for San Juan.
Great little play there and great movement by Tripp to get north and south quick after that shovel pass and the line for holding those blocks. That's longer than offensive linemen like to block on that play, I guarantee it.
Yeoman's a quick one-step drop and hits Trip Palmer on the near side over here on a little button hook. And now on the run after the catch, Trip Palmer makes a couple guys miss and some second effort yardage here as he is dragged down out of bounds pretty late on that.
3 yards. He was past the warning, the referee's track right there when he's thrown to the turf.
And so a 13-yard catch and a little bit of maltreatment for his troubles. Trip Palmer, back-to-back catches, 25 yards. Broncos continue to march now into South Sevier territory again. Jagger Neves is going to get a handoff, weaves his way through the D, thinking he could make more out of that, but he's going to be tripped up with a shoelace tackle after only a gain of 3.
Clock runs at 2 minutes, 45 seconds left in this third quarter.
And so, yeah, San Juan may be the last to possess here in this third quarter. We'll see. It goes quick when it's running, that's for sure. But there's a bullet over the right side, and the quick slant is complete to Trip Palmer, and it's the catch or the run after the catch that really is the icing on the cake as he weaves his way through into the end zone. It is a 46-yard touchdown catch for Trip Palmer, and give him credit on that one as several guys should have had him down, but he makes them all miss and goes in for the score.
Yeah, great run after the catch there by Tripp. Good movement, makes 3 guys miss going in, and then sets the ball down and says, hey, remember my number after this game.
And that is the 4th passing touchdown for Bo Yeomans in this game. You'll have to help me. I guess Tripp is going to kick one now.
And it's not going to get close.
It was a pop fly. It was wide and short. I guess that's the one thing they still haven't worked on in practice. They got no time to work on the kicking game in practice.
Tripp, I love you, buddy. Don't mean to laugh at you, but that kick went up to the right and down. It didn't even make it out of the end zone.
I had a record when I was a kid that my kids now play on the record player that they have, and it's called Willie the Whale. I don't know if you ever heard this story. It's a about a small runt of a whale who doesn't have a nice, strong, straight spray. His is weak and goes out to the side, but when the pier catches on fire, he's the only one who can get close enough to put the fire out and save the town, in the end of the record. So that kick right there reminds me of Willie the Whale. Spray.
Yeah, that was a beaut.
And thankfully, San Juan doesn't need the extra point tonight. They're up now 60-14. The kickoff is going to be an illegal procedure out of bounds here. So the Rams are going to get it at their 35. 2:18 to go as the clock will stop momentarily. So the Broncos score not quite 10 minutes into the frame, answering South Sevier's early touchdown. And it's back up to a 46-point lead now for the Broncos.
And as soon as the ball's set, they'll start the clock, and they do. So now the clock should be running.
It is. And we are nearing 2 minutes to go in this third quarter, so it's going to go real quickly. And South Sevier will saunter up to the line of scrimmage here with a 1st and 10 at their own 35. Bridger Bradshaw working from the shotgun. I like this game when everybody leaves their starters in, man. This makes it easier on me. Bradshaw is flushed, and he's on the scramble, and he'd have kept going straight. He'd have had a bunch of positive yardage, but he tries to weave his way back to the left, and he's only going to get a couple net.
Yeah, he tried to go back across the formation and ran into, believe it was Palmer, yep.
Brig Palmer
over there, and tried to give him a little forearm shiver. But old Brig was not having it and took him right down to the turf.
Even if he'd have fallen before he made that cut, he'd have had 7 yards, I think. But when he cut, he went straight backwards, and so that didn't help him. But he does get 3 yards net with the spot. And so it's a 2nd down and 7. At the 38. And we're down to 1:05 now to go in this third quarter. Bradshaw just dialing his own number here. Straight quarterback run off guard, and he'll get 2 more.
Yeah, I think he's a little frustrated, honestly, by watching his posture out there and some of these plays. He knows that this 10-0 record, this perfect season, and the 1 seed slipping away from him quick because the clock's now at 46 seconds left in this third quarter.
Yeah, and in fact, I'm not sure this isn't going to be the final play of this third quarter. Here's Bradshaw rolling out with pressure, throws low, and it's going to be incomplete. Had a diving man over here trying to make the catch. They were trying to get a pattern to the line to gain here, but instead it'll be a 4th down now with that incompletion.
And I lose track because I get to watching the game and trying to commentate here, and I don't keep a lot of good. My stats are not. You say yours are unofficial. Mine are unbelievable. Yours are
unofficial.
Yeah,
like
mine hold no weight. They're like a bucket hauling water that has 14 holes drilled in it.
Oh, man.
But according to my stats, South Sevier is 2 of 12 on 3rd down. So 3rd down has not been their friend tonight.
No, and they'll face a 4th down when we come back for the 4th quarter. That's the end of the third. It's a 60-14 lead for the San Juan Broncos here in Monroe at South Sevier High School. Battle between the number 1 and 2 teams in the state. It's looking like it's going to flip-flop after this one tonight with the Broncos taking over that number 1 spot again. And South Sevier dropping to number 2 and also ending an undefeated bid for South Sevier. We'll take a break and we'll return to South Sevier High School. It's Friday Night Lights on Red Rock 92 and StreamUtah.Live.
Lee Collision Repair and Restoration in Blanding offers top-quality auto body and glass services. Visit us on North Grayson Parkway or call Jackson at 435-485-0069 today.
San Juan Credit Union, providing exceptional financial products in southeastern Utah for over 60 years, is proud to support our local high schools. With branches in Blanding, Monticello, and Bluff, along with an ATM in Montezuma Creek, access to those products is easier than ever. San Juan Credit Union offers checking and saving accounts, bill pay, a wide array of loans, and much more, all on a full-service website and mobile app. Plus, they're federally insured by the National Credit Union Association. San Juan Credit Union, your money, your future, your credit union.
Welcome back live to South Sevier High School in Monroe, Utah. And for those of you on StreamUtah.Live, you see it, a fake punt that goes for a couple yards, but nothing else. They're not going to get the first down, so it's going to be San Juan football. Are you kidding me?
Yep.
That was going to be at least a yard shy, but they've probably given him a hometown spot here.
The head officials now called his time. We'll see what they decide to do.
In the meantime, while you can narrate that, but I'll let folks know that Friday Night Lights on Red Rock 92 and StreamUtah.Live is brought to you in part tonight by Peterson Medical, providing high-quality home health care to Utah residents for over 50 years. San Juan Pharmacy, serving San Juan County and supporting local teams for decades. Westcott Motors, San Juan County source for quality, affordable vehicles. Westcott-Motors.com. Bradford Tire, specializing in fast service with fair prices and quality customer care. Colleen Kays, author of the 7 Dynamos of Organizational Power. And Creative Floors, covering all of San Juan County's carpet and flooring needs. Big thanks to all these sponsors who make the broadcast possible. As we start with the San Juan offense, and Yeoman's a little play action, throws complete to Mike and Keith on the right side, and he'll be real close to the sticks for San Juan.
Second down.
So a 9-yard catch. I'm going to say about a 9-yard and a 10-inch catch right there.
Tell you, that's one of your sponsors, Bradford Tire. I was in a bind yesterday afternoon about 3 o'clock. Know I was going to be gone all day today. I got to go hunting tomorrow morning. I need new tires on my truck. Called up Bradford Tire, and they said, bring it down, we'll get it done. They were done in 20 minutes.
Wow, there you go.
So, Bradford Tire out of
what
Blanding.
What time do you depart for hunting tomorrow?
Oh, crack of
be
dawn.
about three hours after you get back home.
Crack of dawn.
Yeah, and I've got a
Jace Razor.
Razor's going to bounce to the outside, and they're still trying to bring him down.
Still going.
And he's still fighting for yardage over there, and finally is muscled out of bounds. That play originating around the 34-yard line. So he's going to get down to the 14. A nice 20-yard run for Jace Razor.
Yeah, he just kept chugging those legs, and they could not bring him down. Good on Jace.
You bring in the surprise man, and they don't know who he is. They can't tackle him. You got to know who a guy is before you can tackle him, Art. I don't know if you know that.
I wasn't going to call him out, but he's the one that the ball bounced off on the kickoff.
I know. I didn't call him out either.
I'm sure he wants to put this in the end zone.
Hey, and you know what? It didn't hurt the team ultimately.
That's
It
right.
just took some time off the clock. So Razor's going to take another one, and he'll go right up the gut. And, man, he is not to be slowed down as he throws down the power on the South Sevier D and hammers some guys into the dirt there for a 9-yard gain.
South Sevier lineman got to come off as he's a little banged up in the ankle.
I thought it might have been banged up in the head by Jace Razor there. That was a hard hit.
I tell you, those linemen, your legs from the knee down, that you take a beating inside that tackle box.
Yeah, Jagger Neves is not in. It's Razor and Harden in the backfield, and on a little counter, Razor will tumble ahead. I thought he was in. Does the head count as down?
Yeah, he went down.
He was down to the 1. So that's a 4-yard gain for the junior, and the Broncos in business right here with a 1st and goal at the 1.
Yeah, it's spotted right at the 1 there, Rhett. So let's see a heavy dose of
I'm guessing
Jace Razor
Yeah,
up the
I'm
middle.
guessing they're going to give it to him once again.
And we haven't called it, but this is the JV line that they're running with right now.
Okay, so we do have some of the starters out. And the Broncos just closing it out here with the running clock down to 8:45 to go. We may see them start to take more time huddle-wise as they have a relaxed walk up to the line of scrimmage here. We'll see if Razor gets a 4th straight handoff. He will, and he will muscle his way in for a San Juan touchdown. And Jace Razor gets pay dirt here. He earned it. He had some hard carries there, some nice running. He gets the last touch and goes into the end zone. Had to fight his way in again. He had just enough yardage to fall in there. And for Jace Razor, it is his 3rd rushing touchdown of the season, and the Broncos are up 66-14.
Oh, Randall Black's going to kick it. We'll see if he can get it up and over and not just up. Oh.
It
was up.
It was up, but not good.
But then it was down.
And that's usually the way it goes. Nice little pop fly again for San Juan in the kicking game. So.
See, I think this works into the psyche, though, of opposing teams.
Right.
Why are you guys always going for 2? You're trying to run up the score. No.
Yeah, no, this is why. Let us show you. Let us show you late in the game. We'll show you.
High percentage play, 2-point conversion.
Let us display why we always go for 2. We're not trying to run it up on you. We just like to get an extra point every now and then.
And we love those kids. We're just razzing them, so don't take it personally.
Yeah.
We can't kick either.
Yeah, that's.
I'd kick the holder's hand.
I don't know if you've ever been on the field and tried to kick just a simple 25-yard field goal. When you're out there trying to do it, it's way long, man. It's a lot longer than it looks. You're up here like, that's a weak kick, but even an extra point is a monster kick for me.
I think if we tried to go out and kick one, Rhett, we'd end up in the hospital.
It'd be ugly, yeah. It'd be ugly.
Out,
it'd be absolutely ugly. There's no doubt about it. As South Sevier is going to run the fake reverse on the kick here, and the Broncos are all over it, and they're going to pin South Sevier inside their own 20 on this possession. And just under 8 minutes ago, they let the clock continue running here.
My man Quincy Singer runs him out of bounds.
So 1st and 10 for South Sevier from their own 17.5 here, almost 18.
And you've got your JV defense in now, Rhett. So I'm
Fully
sure South
JV,
Sevier is going to have their varsity, so they're going to want to go down and put 6 on to make it look a little more respectable. But this is the San Juan JV defense now.
So, Bradshaw, we got whistles.
He tripped and fell down.
Okay.
He tripped and his knee hit the ground is what the ref's saying, I believe. Watch it on the replay. Just tries to cut up field and loses his footing and his knee goes down.
Yeah, as it has been all night on this slippery field for whatever reason. So it's going to be no gain on that carry for Mason Healy. So he gets a carry, but no yardage.
7 minutes.
And the clock is running with running clock rules here in the second half. The Broncos handling South Sevier here tonight in the final game of the regular season. It is the region championship here tonight for the 2A South. 66-14 for the Broncos, who have led from the start. The closest it was 0-0 and then 8-7. And since then, after South Sevier's first touchdown early in this game, the Broncos have really taken it to the home team. Here's a nice pitch and catch over the far side to number 8, it looks like.
Yes.
That'll go for 5 to 10, 15, 20, about 24 yards, I think, for Bridger Bradshaw, totally unofficially. And for the Rams.
That play took almost a minute with the running clock here.
Yeah, and Ty Nielsen, the man who makes the catch there.
They drop back to pass again.
Bradshaw, I thought he was in trouble, but he throws almost complete. That should have been caught out there, but falls to the turf incomplete. That would have gotten him into San Juan territory.
That was bang, bang. Cooper Laws lined that thing up, and as soon as the receiver caught it, Cooper was there. He lays the shoulder down, chops some wood, and separates the receiver from the ball, which is exactly what you want your safety defensive back to do.
And the incompletion makes it 2nd down and 10. South Sevier has the ball at their own 41. Time becoming a real factor now. 5:20 to go in this game with a running clock. That ball is thrown low but complete at the sticks.
Hey, sometimes you got to put it where only your receiver can get it, and if that's 6 inches above the grass line, then that's 6 inches above the grass line.
And that was, it's a 10-yard pass. That's all they needed, so that moves the chains. And I believe that time it was Hudson Smith catching.
And now we're at 5 minutes, so we've ran 2-3 plays in 2 minutes. It's not in South Sevier's favor.
No. So 1st and 10 as they're now in San Juan territory, and Bridger Bradshaw on the run, and he's out ahead of the JV defense for San Juan, but there's a big hit right there, head-to-head, as Jace Razor comes together with the quarterback, but he's going to get 17, 18 yards on that hard run.
And the quarterback actually, if you can watch on the replay, lowers his head on this, on helmet to helmet. That should be
that's big time.
A penalty.
That's big time. That was definitely head-to-head.
If we're in college football, that gets called every time. I mean, even an offensive runner, you can't.
And I think in college football, that kid gets removed from the game.
You can't lower your head and run helmet to helmet, trying to take that out of the game.
So 1st and 10, though, for South Sevier. It helps when the officials live close by, I guess. There's another 10-yard run, and that's going to be number 3, Mason Healy. We'll see if they move the chains on this. It'll be really close. That was either 9 or 10. Looks like 9.
It's going to be inches.
Yeah.
But, hey, the JV defense is doing pretty good here.
Yeah.
I mean, you still got every varsity player out there for South Sevier. So, and you got your JV players who most of them probably played a little bit in the game earlier today, which the C team won in overtime.
Yeah, I've heard that was an exciting game. I didn't get to see the end of it, but so it's at the 19 here with a second and 1. Bradshaw's going to throw over the middle into the end zone. It's complete for a touchdown, and a 19-yard touchdown pass from Bradshaw to number 11, I believe it is. And if so, I'm going to have to find a name. Let's see. Nope. That is 11. So Grady Heaps, I believe it is.
That's ironic because in coverage was Grady Lacey.
That's funny. Let me get all this marked down. That's going to be a 19-yard touchdown catch.
The PAT's good.
So we'll get you the score here in just a sec. Let me get this computed in for the QB here, and then we'll move on. That means Bridger Bradshaw is now 10 of 25 on the night unofficially, 182 yards passing. His second touchdown pass of the night right there. Both of them here in the second half. And Grady Heaps gets the TD catch.
I feel like in baseball they put asterisks by stuff in records, and I feel like in football you ought to put an asterisk by a score if you
when
score
the JV
on the
defense
JV
is out. Yep. But South Sevier makes it 66-21. So South Sevier, like the Tortoise, slow and steady here with the normal football score tonight. But San Juan's been all over the radar with the extra point game. Obviously sticking mostly to the 2-point try.
Yeah, and you got to anticipate onside kick here.
Right.
I'd put a few more guys closer up here.
Yeah, and last time South Sevier's kicker pegged Jace Razor right in the chest with it, and it worked out. Actually, it bounced. I mean, it was perfectly executed. It was bouncing and flopping and bounced up, and Razor was unable to handle it. And it perfectly bounced back about 5 yards for South Sevier to be able to receive it. This time they're going to make no mistake Grady Lacey dives. That's interesting. And both the kids wearing 11 for these two teams, their first name's Grady. That's a bit weird.
It's ironic.
That is ironic. 3:11 to go in this ball game now. It'll be Bronco football at midfield. That's
numbers 11s, 3-11, 11. Take that number to Vegas right now.
That's right.
Go bet it all on 11.
That's outstanding. So this will most likely be the final possession of the game, and I'm guessing at some point San Juan will go to victory formation, although it's hard to call off the JV offense when they come on. It's hard to stop these guys from trying.
But you've got Bo Yeomans out there at quarterback still,
right.
and he's looking for the official to give him the 10 count.
Yeah.
Because you probably just run a couple of draw plays here with your running backs, see if you can pick up first down, but you definitely don't want to get your quarterback hurt in a blowout win.
And this will be the Broncos' third blowout in a row. To close out the regular season, they'll have a week off before their first playoff game in a couple weeks. It'll be at home.
Harden.
This South Sevier team will do the same. They'll have a week off, and then they'll host a team here in their first game in what will be the state quarterfinals. Thomas Harden with an 8-yard run that time, his first touch of the night. Second down and 2 for San Juan, but the Broncos at this point just closing it out. We're down under 2 minutes to go. That was the 2-minute warning right there. It just passed us right by. We don't believe in that in high school football. So the Broncos coming back out, probably maybe 3 more plays in this game. And just standard running plays right up the middle, like you said, Art, as Razor will take one here for 7. And that'll, of course, move the chains.
And now I think you're down to minute 28 now. I think you go to victory formation and down the ball here. You get out of here without an injury, because a lot of these guys that are on this team play on the starting special teams, either kick return or kickoff. So you've made your point. You've won the game. You're the number one. You're the region champs. Get out of here without injury.
Yeah, and they are in victory formation here indeed. So Yeomans will take the snap in the shotgun and down it.
That's why you watch those college quarterbacks when they're victory formation, they go up under the center, and then they'll actually try to shuffle their way forward before they hit their knees so they don't lose any yards in the stat game.
Yeah. I'm going to, obviously it's a team game, but I'm just going to say early on, the way Jagger Neves came out in this game, that he'd probably have to be called player of the game, at least in my mind in this, throwing the opening touchdown pass of the game. And it just seemed like he was not going to be defeated tonight. Just the way he came out, he was not going to be denied at all. That's going to be it. The Broncos will not have to snap the ball again. So time will expire on this 66-21 final. I don't know. And then Neves, of course, celebrating in front of the camera down there for those of you watching on StreamUtah.Live. And so, again, the Broncos close out the regular season with a big 66-21 win here tonight in Monroe. And the Broncos end South Sevier's undefeated bid tonight. As the Rams fall to 9-1 on the year, the Broncos will close out the regular season with an 8-2 record. And they convincingly were the better team here tonight. We'll see who we can chat with here in just a little bit. We'll step aside, run some commercials, and we will come back up as we start the post-game show. Stay with us. It's Friday Night Lights on Red Rock 92 and StreamUtah.Live.
Diamond Propane in Blanding, Utah is the only locally owned and operated propane dealer in San Juan County. Call Chas Jacobson today at 435-678-2010 to fill your tank. Diamond Propane is a proud sponsor of local high school sports.
San Juan County Adult Education empowers adults with technical, business, and college skills to join the workforce, earn a high school diploma, or GED. Visit a USU Learning Center or email gina.grover@sjsd.org to learn more. For over 75 years, San Juan Health has offered top medical care in Blanding, Monticello, and Spanish Valley. Visit SanJuanHealth.org for our services. San Juan Health, chasing perfection since 1947.
Here at Utah Navajo Health System, our mission statement is we exist to improve your quality of life through comprehensive, self-empowered, culturally sensitive, and amazing customer service.
Need fast internet in San Juan County? Emory Telcom delivers blazing fast fiber with no contracts and free installation. Power your home with reliable connectivity. Visit EmoryTelcom.com for details today.
Get the resources and quality of a big school education and the support of a smaller school at Utah State Blanding. Explore over 70 degree and certificate programs to find your perfect fit and experience personalized learning with small class sizes and dedicated faculty while getting the classic college experience. A Utah State education is affordable too, thanks to competitive tuition and tons of scholarship opportunities. Visit blanding.usu.edu to learn more about becoming an Aggie in Blanding.
In career and technical education, your classroom is more than a place to learn. It's where your future begins. Here, you will learn real-world skills, explore your passions, and turn your talent into opportunity. Whether you are drawn to healthcare technology, trades, or design, CTE helps you take that next step with confidence, learn the skills, build your dream, and step into your career, starting today.
Monson's Quality Meat Processing in Blanding provides processing for both wild and domestic animals. They also carry USDA choice steaks, ground beef, and 14 unique flavors of handmade bratwurst. Monson specializes in friendly service, the highest quality products, and flexible timing, all at a competitive price. That's Monson's Quality Meat Processing at 885 East Pinion Ridge Road in Blanding. Call 435-459-1401 or find them on Facebook.
Desert Rivers Credit Union offers mortgages, low fees, and great rates for all credit scores. Enjoy local service and a nationwide ATM network. Desert Rivers Credit Union, for people, not profit.
Hello, my name is David Palmer, and I am the Parks and Recreation Director for the City of Blanding.
Hi, my name is Sylvia Stubbs. As a recently elected San Juan County Commissioner,
We are so excited to collaborate with SJC-PAC Coalition and San Juan Counseling to bring parents-empowered messaging to our beautiful Wellness Center pool area.
Parents Empowered is a Utah campaign designed to help parents understand the power they have in reducing the risk of underage drinking.
Survey data tells us that youth perception of risk in San Juan County in all grades went from 83.6% in 2019 to 68.3% in 2021. This means our kids don't understand the damage that alcohol and other drugs can cause on their developing brains.
Did you know that Utah teens reported that parental disapproval is the #1 reason they choose not to drink?
Never assume your children know what your rules, expectations, and attitudes are. Write them down and discuss them with your kids so they understand the reasons behind them.
Bonding is essential to preventing underage drinking. Children are less likely to drink when the parents are involved in their lives and when children and the parents feel close to one another.
Together, we can help build a stronger San Juan County.
Let's do this!
San Juan Building Supply in Blanding has lumber, tools, and building materials for any project. Enjoy quality products and expert advice. Call 435-678-2000 or come in and see us at 1050 South Main Street.
Welcome back live to South Sevier High School in Monroe, Utah. Friday Night Lights postgame show on Red Rock 92 and StreamUtah.Live. A 66-21 win for the San Juan Broncos here tonight, who close out the regular season with an 8-2 record, and they win the 2A South Region Championship outright tonight with this win over South Sevier. And the Broncos should be the #1 team in the 2A with this win tonight, entering the state tournament in a couple weeks. Of course, the tournament will start next week, but both the Broncos and the Rams will have a week off by virtue of their top seedings, and so we believe they're going to flip-flop, and San Juan should be #1, South Sevier #2 next week, but you never know. We've seen weird things in the RPI in the past, so ultimately it doesn't matter. You're going to have to win 3 games, 1 at home and then 2 in neutral locations to win your 5th straight state championship. So you got to take care of business 3 more times this season, and I've got no reason to doubt, based on what I've observed this season, that the Broncos are capable of doing that, but it comes down to executing during the games. So as we open up the postgame show tonight, I was going to take a look at some stats, but I think we've got a San Juan player who's going to come in and chat with us tonight, and he'll don the headset, and that's a little bit different than a helmet. This is when we get the nasty, sweaty football ears on our equipment up here. So Nash Young visiting with us for the first time this season, man. You were all over the place out there tonight defensively. I know you had a couple flags called on you, but, man, you guys were flying out there tonight. I know you were trying to make a statement here tonight based on some of the things that may have been said about you guys throughout the week. Tell me your feelings tonight after this win here to close the year.
I feel great. Like, we've never come out this hot before. It was such a fun game. Everyone was flying around, talking. It was so fun.
You could just tell there was an energy from you guys that was a little bit different than it has been the rest of the season tonight coming out.
Yeah.
How were you guys able to muster that, and do you think that that's something that you can continue down the stretch here now going into the playoffs?
Yeah, I think we're just going to keep this energy throughout the rest of the whole year because, they talked this game was going to be like the #1 game because they're 9-0, but we just want to come out and prove a statement that we still run 2A.
Yeah, is that what do you think? I mean, you just kind of said it there, but what do you think you guys showed tonight other than that maybe?
That we're still the top team in 2A.
You're the team to beat, right? Yeah, it's pretty straightforward. What is it that makes this team so special, do you think?
Oh, we're just brothers. Grown up together, done everything together. Our team is just one. We're just one person, basically.
It's kind of interesting. In high school sports, each year people graduate. It's a different team each year. And sometimes I guess folks might have considered you guys, quote, down this year. You had a sophomore quarterback starting. But you guys have really come into your own. What do you What do you who do you give credit for that? You guys being able to come into your own so quickly this season and become a unit and become the awesome team that you guys are.
I got to give it to the coaches, is being flexible with us, trusting us. Like, we'll grow into it. We'll get there eventually, and we did.
What do you think your main contribution is to this team? That might be a tough question. I don't know, but
I just got to be the person that gets everyone hype.
Yep.
I might not be a star player, but I got to do my job.
I don't know, man. You're back there making some huge defensive stops tonight, knocking passes away. Do you keep track? Do you know how many passes you deflected tonight or stopped from making them completions?
I just play ball.
And you had one. I thought you had a near interception out there tonight too, which you probably wanted back. I saw your eyes from up here, so you wanted that one. But hey, man, you guys are looking good. Obviously, you're going to have a week to get ready, and you don't know exactly who you're going to play yet. But what do you think you'll be doing here this next week, prepping for the playoffs?
Working harder than ever before. Playoffs, got to get there.
How much tell me how much you bench?
I bench 190 right now.
That's pretty impressive, man. All right, we appreciate you chatting with us, Nash. Good win for you guys. Have a fun ride home. I assume you guys are going home tonight.
Yeah.
So congratulations on the region championship. Is that special to take that trophy home?
Yeah, it is.
All right, man. Have a good night. Have a good, safe trip home, and we'll see you back at home in a couple weeks.
Thank you.
That's Nash Young, who made a whole bunch of defensive stops tonight for San Juan. Big part of this win here tonight for the Broncos as they down South Sevier 66-21 to win the 2A South Region Championship. And we're going to have Coach Christensen sit in with the headset now, and he can soak up that nasty sweat for us and dry off our earphones. And, Coach, I know that you're kind of like a father figure to these kids, and I know you consider them like sons, and I know it hurts, or it definitely it's a fire up type of thing when people talk badly about your kids. And I know things were said this week, and you guys came out and made a statement here tonight in response.
Yeah, and that's and they took that. They took most of it to heart, and they're the ones that wanted to respond. I mean, we were really excited to come play this game. We know the work that we've put in, and we knew kind of where we stood, and we were really excited to prove that we're the best team in the region.
As far as you guys as a team, do you think you showed who you are tonight?
Yeah, I mean, this was very similar to last week. Obviously, it's not just boom, boom, bang, 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 right? I mean, they provided a lot of resistance. And I'll give their kids credit. They played hard the whole game.
Mm-hmm.
Even when they were down big, they never quit, which some teams did have when we played. So yeah, but I felt I think we scored every single possession. Obviously, we had some letdowns, but when you're playing press man, that's going to happen. So very proud of our kids. Yeah, I think that's the team that you're going to have to get through us, right? That team out there tonight. If the road to state, I think, still goes through us.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you guys obviously showed that tonight. And for the folks who study 2A football, I don't think it's any shock here tonight. But for you, what was maybe your most favorite point of this game here tonight?
Man, that's a tough question because there's so many, right? Like, I loved how the energy, just the beginning of the game, all of even like the kids that may be kind of backups and waiting for their opportunity to get in, they're hooping, hollering. Everybody just had a ton of energy. They were excited flying around. They were excited for this game. They were excited to play football. And then, we come out that opening drive and we score. Obviously, we had a big penalty that set us back. We were looking at a big third down. Cole Duke comes up with a huge catch. Then Tripp makes an amazing catch in the end zone. We give up a touchdown, and then we just come right back. And then we get a stop, we come right back. We get a stop, we come right back. And just I loved how the hammer down mentality. I loved our pass game tonight. When we can go vertical on teams, we're so tough.
There's a real special energy. We talked about it before the game from you guys coming into the game tonight. I'm talking about the players and even with you, talking with you pre-game, there was just a gravitas about you. There just was a different energy, it seemed like. Is that something that you can cultivate for the players, that you as coaches try to cultivate, or is that something that happens naturally among them?
Yeah, I mean, both. I think it's something that definitely we capitalized on this week with everything, with all the talk that there was and who was the best team in 2A. I think we capitalized on that, but I think it's something that we need to continue to grow on because they play better when they play with energy and they play with passion. They play with a little bit of chip on their shoulder.
Yeah, I was about to use that phrase, chip on the shoulder. And can you maintain this energy going down the home stretch now going into the playoffs?
Yeah, that's the big thing that we've got to work on as coaching staff, right? Is we got to figure out how to find that switch every single time. I mean, it was kind of like with South Summit. All the talk was, South Summit, back in the, recent when we played them, 7-8 years ago, they were kind of owning us in the series, and they were supposed to be this, and that this year. And I felt that again, and that was a game we played about perfect. Emory, beating them in the state championship last year, I think that's where it came from. And so we've got to figure out how to find that every single game.
What are the things that you take from this game tonight, and what are you going to be doing here for the next couple weeks getting ready for your first playoff game?
Yeah, we'll just obviously watch. I know it's the cliche answer that nobody likes to hear, but we'll obviously just watch the film and find anything that – usually I have an iPad on the sidelines that I get direct, video feed to, and I can watch the iPad in between offensive series. And we didn't bring our iPad. It was a big mess up. So
are you saying you watch film while the game is still going on? You're already
usually,
watching?
Yeah. It uploads
so awesome.
Right to the iPad. So it's nice because we can show the kids and coach them in the game.
Right.
We didn't have that tonight, so I haven't really got to watch anything, so I want to see what it looked like. But, ultimately I think it looked good. But overall, we have some lingering injuries, some Week 10 injuries like groin issues or hamstring issues, just things that linger throughout a season. And so it'll be nice to have the bye week to get healthy and just go back to working on fundamentals of our defense and of our offense and just tighten up that way.
Just a side note, man, the field tonight, what was going on? There was no traction on this field here tonight.
It's just kind of a rural field Week 10. Our field has been a swampy mess this week too. The weather's obviously been awful everywhere in the state, and so I think it was just wet and kind of soaky and yeah, it was just, it's a rural Week 10 field.
Guys,
for sure.
We had the 2-yard slide going on out there tonight.
Yeah,
so
ours would have been the same way this week.
Well, that was fun, Coach. Obviously a great way for you to conclude the regular season. Now you move on. It's game to game, and you're going to look forward to your first opponent in a couple weeks in the state tournament. And I know what you guys are aiming for. I know you got to take it game by game, but I know you're aiming for your 5th straight title. And I don't know, just my observations this year, you guys are fully capable, it would seem, and so it's just all about execution, like we've heard you say all year for this team.
Absolutely, we just got to go get it. I think really we got to look at it. It's us versus ourselves. I think we're the only ones that can really beat ourselves, and that's not even trying to sound, arrogant or anything like that. It's just that's how we feel, and that's how, we've got to attack it. Is we've got to beat that entitled that it's just going to happen mindset. We got to go get it every single week.
All right, Coach, we appreciate it. I don't know if you have any final words here before you get on the bus, but you're welcome if you want to close something out.
Yeah, it was a fun season, great regular season. Obviously the 2 losses that we've been able to learn a lot from and get better from, and hopefully they humbled us enough to be able to, keep moving forward with these things. But ultimately the goal is to take state in whatever classification we're in, and we have no control over any of that. And so we're shooting for 5, and we just want to thank everybody that's on the ride with us. We have the greatest fans in the world. So
I meant to look. Do you have any idea how many region championships you guys have won now?
Like,
I meant
as
to
a
look,
team?
but I failed. I'm going to have to do that here while we're – okay, well, at any rate, you add another one tonight, Coach. It's your 82nd win as a coach as well, so congrats on that. You just keep ratcheting it up, and this team just continues to accomplish things, man, and continues to get better each week. So good win for you guys. We'll see you in a couple weeks. Have a nice couple weeks of prep and get ready for that state tournament.
Awesome. Thank you, man.
Thanks, Coach. That's Coach Barkley Christensen, whose team shellacked South Sevier tonight in the region, the 2A South Region Championship tonight, and also a game that should decide the number 1 seed going into the state tournament. I don't know. I have this, if I can have just a moment here, Art, I don't know if you have some things to say. I haven't thrown out the stats yet either, but I'm going to look up, see if I can find this list here. The Deseret News does the preseason write-ups, which I have bookmarked, so I should be able to pull this up. And if the internet is still functioning, my phone is nigh unto death here, but we'll see. I think we might, if it'll load up, I might be able to mention how many region championships this is for San Juan, because that's a fun bit of info now that here we go. So region titles, that is their 24th region championship, and they've won it 1, 2, 3, 4. That's their fifth straight region championship and 24th all time. So fairly impressive resume right there. Let's look at some final game stats, and we will start it off with, I think maybe we'll just keep it with San Juan. Let's take a look. Total yardage for South Sevier ended up being 285, and again, that ballooned up a little bit when the JV defense was out in the second half. But for San Juan, it was 622 total yards of offense, 385 through the air, 237 on the ground. Bo Yeomans ended, 16, 17, 18. He was 19 for 22 unofficially with 349 yards, 4 rushing touchdowns tonight. No interceptions. He hasn't thrown interceptions in any of the past 3 games. Jagger Neves also had a touchdown pass. They, out of the gate, just gave him the ball, let him throw it one time tonight, and he threw it for a 36-yard touchdown. So fairly impressive. He hasn't passed a whole lot this year, 3 times. 2 of them have been complete, and that was the biggest and best one he's had all year. And so that'll bounce up the stats for him a little bit in the passing game. But in the running game, he's had obviously no problem all year long. 15 carries tonight, 182 yards. He adds 3 more rushing touchdowns, and he's now up to 3rd in the state of Utah all time as far as career touchdowns. And we'll get some more details on some of these career and season stats where he is. He continues to lead the state in a couple of categories, and he's up in the top 5 in the nation right now in a couple categories. So Jagger Neves having a great senior year, of course. He also caught the ball twice tonight for 43 yards. Let's see. As far as the receivers tonight, Bo Yeomans' main target was Trip Palmer. He threw to him 12 times, 208 yards receiving for Trip, and he had 3 of the receiving touchdowns. The 1 reception was from Jagger Neves. That first one in the first quarter, the 36-yarder. Cole Duke caught a 36-yard pass from Bo Yeomans for a touchdown, and he had 3 catches for 78 yards tonight. Mike and Keith had 2 catches for 18 yards. Let's see. Nash Young had 2 catches, 39 yards and a 7-yard TD. And let's see, I think that is it for the receiving. Jace Razor in the second half carried the ball 6 times for 47 yards. Thomas Harden had an 8-yard carry. And the Broncos ended up scoring 9 touchdowns tonight, 5 of them passing, 4 of them rushing. And just a dominant effort tonight. Art, obviously they had the chip on the shoulder tonight after all the talk this past week about was San Juan really number 1, and it's kind of comical. Those of us who have followed it all year, it really was never in doubt, I don't think, in our minds, but there was a lot of scuttlebutt this week, and I think that kind of South Sevier kind of had to pay for that on the field here tonight.
Yeah, I think anytime you go out and you get that locker room, that bulletin board talk is what we call it, and it just inspires and lights a fire under an already good team to go out and really put the pedal to the metal, and that's what you saw tonight at San Juan. Now, South Sevier had some bright spots. I think they're probably a legitimate number 2. They're probably, like I said earlier, if they see Summit Academy, that's the matchup I would like to see because they haven't played Summit Academy. They didn't play South Summit. So we'll see how they do against one of those 2 teams, which I think are, probably the top 4 teams in 2A. And so we'll see. But I'll tell you an interesting stat Kellen Nielsen just shared to me. I don't know how people are still watching, but he broke this down. It's a pretty awesome spreadsheet here. And so San Juan's now 34-4 against South Sevier all time. Average points per game, 36.6 for San Juan, 9.7 for South Sevier. Since 1988, it's been 32-1. Points scored for San Juan, 1,306 to South Sevier's 254. So an average points of almost 40 points a game versus 7 to South Sevier. So obviously, Kellen having some fun with the spreadsheet tonight, breaking that down.
I was going to say, Kellen, we need a statistician on the team if you wanted to make some trips.
That's right.
We have a volunteer position open for you. It's an unpaid position.
All the free water you can drink.
That's right.
But I thought it was a great team effort. I thought, we talked about this. South Sevier came out the first drive pretty good, aided by some penalties. Came out the second half pretty good. But it's just that longevity, that able to maintain the same pace. And we've seen it time and time again with Team San Juan plays. We don't see that very often. There's not very many teams that can match that. But I think tonight, we interviewed Nash. I thought he did a fantastic job.
Yeah.
A couple penalties I thought were phantom penalties. I thought he was in that receiver's back pocket all night. He did a fantastic
he was a big
job
factor
out there. I think Jonas Jepson, a player we don't really call out a lot, but he is the dog in that defense just doing the nitty-gritty work. He usually takes on some double teams so someone else can get by and make a sack or make a tackle. But Jonas Jepson really played good tonight. I think Jagger Neves did Jagger Neves things. And what can you say about Bo Yeomans, the sophomore quarterback? He is just in a high-pressure game. I wondered how he would, come out in tonight's game just because of the pressure surrounding it. But he came out like a veteran tonight. He came out like this is nothing new, man. Throw me out in that game. I'll go throw some touchdowns and lead my team to the victory. So tremendous win for this team. Nothing taken away from South Sevier because they have had a fantastic year. They've played the best season they've had so far, and I looked for them to go deep into the playoffs, at least the semifinals. I really would like to see them against those two teams I mentioned and see how they fare. But I think if San Juan, I know that Coach hates to say he's reached that the cap. They're peaking. But I think if they're not, they're one swing of the pickaxe away from the top of the And I think that's great going to the playoffs right now. Fantastic game.
Well, you talk about Bo Yeomans, and he's just a sophomore, and he's obviously going to be a force to be reckoned with these next 2.5 years. But it really helps, and he would be the first to say this. He would be the first to give credit here. It really helps when you got guys in front of you who are protecting you all night. You're hanging out back there in the pocket, just floating up beauties, and it's that's what you got to have. That's where the game is won and lost on that line.
Yeah, you've got Cash Palmer and Remy Walcott. Both of those athletes have multiple offers from Division III schools and other schools to come play football next year. So he's playing behind some college-level talent out there on the field.
Well, and I think a big factor in tonight's game, and Coach Christensen talked about it in his interview, was the way the Broncos bounced back after South Sevier scored their first touchdown. From that point on, the Broncos just hit the gas and never let up. It wasn't just offensive, it was defensive. Every stop they got, they answered with a touchdown. They would come back and get another stop and score immediately, and that was when they took control of that game right there. And that was after they got smacked in the mouth, and the game was close. It was 0-0, 8-0, and then 8-7. And from that point on, the Broncos took it, and it really was how they bounced back after getting scored on in that first touchdown once South Sevier had energy.
And I think the maturity level of those players out there, because we saw a little chippiness. We had some personal fouls starting the game off, and then they calmed themselves down, and they just went to work. And they said, okay, we're going to stop the yapping, we're going to stop the showboat, and we're going to come out here and we're just going to play football, and we're going to let the scoreboard at the end of the game show you who the better team was. And that's exactly what happened. Yeah. So just the maturity level of those kids from the first couple of drives, the first quarter basically, to the fourth, to say, hey, we're here to play football. We're not here to talk the game. We're here to play the game. And kudos to those kids.
All right, the Broncos win their 24th region championship outright here tonight. They take the 2A South with a 66-21 win over South Sevier. It was convincing, and it was quick, and the Broncos win it here tonight to finish their regular season 8-2 on the year. South Sevier drops to 9-1. That'll do it for us here tonight. I want to say thanks to all the people involved, all the sponsors. First of all, you make these broadcasts possible, and we will hit you up one final time by name here in just a moment during the close. I want to say thanks to Lane Palmer and Caleb Carr, our crew tonight on the Stream Utah side, and they've been with us all year, obviously, making the video happen. If you're seeing video with San Juan football, those guys are the ones making it happen, so thanks to you guys once again for a great product. Thanks to everybody else, all the listeners, all the viewers tonight. You're the reason why we do these broadcasts, and we're going to have a couple weeks off. Then it'll be the state quarterfinals. I am unfortunately not going to be able to call that game. I'm going to be at a wedding in California, so that'll be Art will be doing play-by-play and color. I'm not sure what's going to be happening in that game. But we'll see. I'm going to desert the ship, and then I'll come back for the state semifinals. And so I'll be seeing you in almost a month. It'll be 3 weeks, I guess, before I'll be back on the air again. But, I wish you all well this weekend. That'll do it for us here tonight. Again, a 66-21 win for San Juan. On behalf of Art Adair, it's Rhett Sifford saying so long from South Sevier High School. Have a great rest of your weekend, high school sports fans.
Friday Night Lights is a production of Red Rock 92 Sports and StreamUtah.Live. Tonight's broadcast was brought to you by Anderson Oliver Title Insurance Agency, San Juan Building Supply, Blue Mountain Foods, Bradford Tire, Desert Rivers Credit Union, San Juan School District Adult Education, Diamond Propane, Colleen Kays, Four Corners Homes, Peterson Medical, San Juan Counseling, Creative Floors, Holiday Construction, Lee Collision Repair and Restoration, San Juan Health, Crowley Construction, Monson's Quality Meat Processing, Northern Electric, San Juan Insurance, Dependable Auto Repair, Precision Rehab, Red Mechanical, San Juan School District CTE Programs, Diamond Designs, Blue Mountain Hospital, Energy Fuels, San Juan Public Health, Emory Telecom, Countywide Realty, Red's Ace Hardware, Canyonlands Tire, Empire Electric, Flights Gymnastics, Utah Navajo Health System, Utah State University Blanding, San Juan Pharmacy, Four Corners Regional Care Center, Jones and DeMille Engineering, Napa Motor Parts, San Juan Credit Union, Primary Residential Mortgage, and Westcott Motors. We're the home of live high school sports coverage in southeastern Utah, Classic Hits Radio, Red Rock 92, and StreamUtah.Live.